educational, and you won't want to miss it. It's Everything Agriculture. Hey, this man Easy, inviting you to tune in. It's all about everything agriculture with the man Banky and Company alongside Yason Tafari. It's your weekly educational show. And tune in. It's inspirational, educational, and you won't want to miss it. It's Everything Agriculture. Hey, this man Easy, inviting you to tune in. It's all about everything agriculture with the man Banky and Company alongside Yason Tafari. It's your weekly educational show. And tune in. It's inspirational, educational, and you won't want to miss it. It's Everything Agriculture. Hey, this man Easy, inviting you to tune in. It's all about everything agriculture with the man Banky and Company alongside Yason Tafari. It's your weekly educational show. And tune in. It's inspirational, educational, and you won't want to miss it. It's Everything Agriculture. Hey, this man Easy, inviting you to tune in. It's all about everything agriculture with the man Banky and Company alongside Yason Tafari. It's your weekly educational show. And tune in. It's inspirational, educational, and you won't want to miss it. It's Everything Agriculture. Hey, this man Easy, inviting you to tune in. It's all about everything agriculture with the man Banky and Company alongside Yason Tafari. It's your weekly educational show. And tune in. It's inspirational, educational, and you won't want to miss it. It's Everything Agriculture.
Get ready for an unforgettable experience at Mansa Fest, a family fun day, happening January 26th from midday to 6 p.m. at Mansa's last stop, Kids Benevis. Whether you're here for the fresh organic produce, delicious ITIL and traditional Caribbean food, exciting music and games, or just good social vibes, this is the place to be. Bring the whole family for farm tours, a bouncing castle for the kids, and much more. Don't miss out. See you there.
Greetings and welcome to the Everything Agriculture Show. I'm your host, Banky, and my regular second host, Yason Tofare, all the way in California. And this evening we have a special guest, article virgin from long time, my boy Ounce. You don't know, you understand? I need this moment. Many of you have seen this moment all throughout and contact me through stuff like that. You know what I mean? Visit the fan base because of the videos he be doing and stuff like that. But also, Ounce is an article man when it comes to bona fide farmer and know to use small spaces and stuff like that. So we'll get into some discussion. Also this evening, I'm going to dedicate this show to my Uncle Mansa. This month will make 2 years since he had transitioned. And this weekend coming up, this Sunday, the 26th, we're going to have in the first annual Mansa Fest, where we have it like a family, make it a family day. Come out on the farm, reminisce, and they do throughout the community. And for over 40 years, all his life, that's all I know him to be a farmer and a fisherman and spend most of my time around him and stuff like that. So I'm the person I am today because of him. I mean, know my Uncle Brian and the rest of my uncles and see the skill set that they have. So just going between a family like that, you just see the men and the female them as business people. And then they pass on the same teachings to you and stuff like that, but not knowing what the intention was when they have you one of them all the time. That, you know what I mean, that one day you want to take up the mantle and be doing these things. So it's like they're grooming you smartly, but you're not even thinking that way. And the same thing, they're paying you. So yeah, this weekend, the 26th, starting from 12 o'clock to 6 p.m., the Mansa Fest, and we'll continue that, make it an annual thing every year. And then down in April 30th, somewhere around there, we'll have a next Mansa agricultural fair or whatever, whatever, but that's where you're gonna be in April after the agriculture open day. I mean, the farm is there, so I used to do all these different stuff at Indian Castle, so now on this can transition. That's how the universe set it to be and meant it to be. So just want to give thanks how the universe aligned things so that I could trot my way out the system and set this thing, because that's where the universe put things in, because the universe don't make mistakes. So I ask give thanks when things don't go a certain way. You understand on the road what the universe put, why it make these things happen. So it's just that the people are not gonna choice. So when something negative, you see it negative is the positive, because the universe guide these, put these things up. So and people don't realize these things. So when people doing something in this, it's a good they're doing, because how the universe put it. So it's just what things are just done this by design. So I appreciate these things when they happen. So starting off the Mansa Fest, and I encourage the whole community, because Mansa was the kind of person I know he has given and stuff like that, and he don't say no. And he has welcoming people on the farm, doing a lot of tours, and was well known throughout the tourism sector, because he was like the venture when it comes to tourism. I said the perfect model way of farmers should live on the farm, because the family gonna get up there and the work always going on, even if somebody's always on the farm. So when it comes to stealing and stuff like that, are pests and this and stuff roaming on the farm, then to somebody's living on the farm, then you have less damages and to minimum. So and then still sell the produce on the farm where he build his shop, like a convenience store, and the produce that he grow, he put it inside it so he don't have to go nowhere. So it's the perfect business. And these are things we pushing through the agriculture department when it was there. Farmers should be able to grow food trees. For years, been pushing this thing, because it was not like that. They didn't want farmers to grow food trees on the land. It's still been pushing these things, then they really see, and then they say, yeah, makes sense. Farmers, it was a struggle. When farmers are kind of figure, because if a man a farm on land, the man should be able to own the land there, That is my thing. And if a man a farm, he shouldn't even have to pay water bill. Can pay a stipend, you understand? But let me get to the greetings part, and we come back to all the different discussion before lose myself. But let me say greetings to the people of Liamega and Oli. Yeah, I always have to bring up the name of the ancestors, because we shall never forget these things. You see what I mean? It's important because it's we are ancient people, and we need to understand and over these things and know who we are. And if you know who you are, you'll appreciate this thing, because when you call these speaking the native tongues, like Amiga, Oli, the body feel it. Because they call, when you use these words, you really feel it. You tremble, because you're speaking to yourself. That's the reality. And they don't want you to do these things. So, and good evening to the folks listening in St. Bart's, Stacia, St. Martin, the U.S. Virgin Islands, the BVI, folks over in Antigua and Barbuda and Bermuda. Have a lot of folks that listen to the show. Also, folks over in Montserrat. Miss listening most at radio station, being at Indian Castle. That's everything, because they have some great shows and stuff like that. And we really appreciate the works they're doing down there in the agricultural sector, even though it's to a minimum, they're still at least growing some food and stuff like that. And the folks over in Grenada and St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Barbados, and also the folks over in Cuba. You meet all kind of people that are traveling and doing workshops and stuff. So I have a lot of brethren and sisters in throughout the Caribbean and all over. Also, folks over in Morocco, in Africa, and folks over in England. Appreciate you guys tuning in, because different time frame. Folks over in Taiwan and our students in Costa Rica studying agriculture, and those wherever they are, to the sound of my voice. Greatly appreciate you guys tuning in, whether it's good evening, good morning. We don't take you guys for granted. And also, you guys are free to add your messages if you all know Mansa and the work you have done. And if you ever interact, you all can always, pay homage and respect to him and kind words and stuff like that. And the telephone number is also 1869 or 662. That's the WhatsApp number, 7196. And if you want to be a part of the show, and also we're talking about, so yes, this show is dedicated to Mansa, and we still have our guest, my boy Ounce, and we're going to talk about small space and then large scale farming. And that is where Mansa started, done by Teacher Mona, some in a small area, a couple thousand square feet, making up, parking up the ground and making the beds and all these different things and so forth. And then, yeah, so see all the different techniques, and then up Colic Road, then in the back of the yard, just different stuff. But then small space will produce a lot of food because of how we plant, intercrop a lot, and use different techniques, and then still get the food trees them around. So I see how he like he do things laid out. You see what I mean? He don't jump around. Yeah. So he align things properly, well laid out, so everything look uniform. And those are things that make sense. You see, so when you come on the farm, you do realize that from the beginning of the road, once you enter the farm to the back of the shop, a lot of fruit trees behind the bell apple, star fruit, we call carambola. You still have guavas, citrus, lime, and mango trees and soursop trees, and that's just like a couple thousand square feet in the front. We just loaded with fruit trees. And then you come back to the back with the acreage there now. Lot more fruit trees and mango trees. You see what I mean? So he always harvesting something. A lot of pomegranate trees. I remember that Indian castle and I tell him, wait, no, I planted a pomegranate trees myself. Yeah, man, wait, no, me on the same beat too, and I got some special breed. So he had give me some for juicing and all these things. So everything just aligned and I still add more, lot more soursop the way you have there, add more guavas, add more coconut trees what I make there. So when the farm have over 200 coconut trees. So what he put there, I still add more mango trees. So I just keep putting and put. You see, so and that's how it's supposed to be. So he gave a start. We are now as around with a lot of time with him and stuff like that, and he's just opposite to me. Cause when he speak a lot of bad word. In all his sentences, pure F word. You don't care who you be, you gonna hear it. You know what I'm saying? He was just that kind of person. See, then as I said, we're gonna dedicate the show to Mansa, and it's fitting to bring on my boy Owens. It remind me how Manchester started himself, and most people started the small space too. You, you see what I mean? And then you go big, and you need to space you want more land and stuff like that. So yeah, son, we're going on with you.
Yeah, well, I'm giving thanks. It's pleasure to be here on another edition of Everything Agriculture. Always a pleasure to, welcome folks from all over the world, wherever you are listening to us, especially the folks logged on the Facebook, folks on YouTube, Twitch, which are some of the other means of getting in touch with this program. And the number to call in, as Banky would have mentioned, 1-869-627-196. If you want to call us on WhatsApp, and or you're free to make your comments on the Facebook wall, because we do on this show usually pay attention to the Facebook wall and respond to the comments, and make sure that you who are with us see and feel a part of what is going on this program. We want to encourage you also to feel free to share, and also go to the YouTube channel and like the YouTube channel and subscribe. Every little, subscription and like, takes us a little bit further. And, just want to say enough respect also to the entire Real Entertainment Network platform who is making this possible. And it's also a very proud moment for me knowing that, this is a fully Nevis production, and so it's really a lot to swallow. And as I mentioned, that I also want to say a special good night to our guest as well, who I'm not even sure if we should even really call him a guest, but he's a guest to the program, but he's more like a brother to us,
Yes, sir.
part of the team. I mean, one of us who just feel that energy apart from whatever else that we do and would have done, have that love and that passion for agriculture, and not just speak about it, but is able to demonstrate it, and put it out there and find ways and means of putting it out there. And in terms of also not just for himself, but make sure that he does that in a way to also promote Nevis on a whole, and create what everybody now know as the Nevis moment, or a Nevis moment. And you see a lot of these clips, all over social media and so on. This is the little humble brother that is responsible for all this. And so we just, all of this to welcome Ounce, young brother, here out of Queen City Nevis, who, is one of the kings of making use of the backyard space. Um, with a little
Yes.
space, being able to create magic,
Plenty
so to
food.
speak.
Lot of food.
Ounce, greetings, welcome to the platform, welcome to this edition of Everything Agriculture.
Yeah, Bridget, give thanks for allowing me to be, a part of this. Banky, give thanks for inviting me. I know many times you say, but Ons, you need to come on this show, but, I rather
Yeah,
work in the
man.
background nowadays. Yeah? But,
Alignment in our timing.
timing everything, the universe align everything. So right now is the time, and I am here, you check. And I guess I just
Yes,
needed
I.
to gain the wisdom, and do certain things before I could really come and present. And now the time now is for me now to just give back and teach in a way and show,
Yes,
and
I.
you talk about the Nevis moment, but I always believe that if you think back and if you jar memory sometimes, when you look into memory, sometimes in the whole event is just a moment in time is where you really remember, and sometimes only that sticks. So sometimes I just
True.
using social media and using the camera, which I love for years, is just to capture that moment. You check. I mean, since me there jungle, me take picture of doing things. Since me start to plan food, me take pictures of my food because it was my
True.
way of keeping track of what me do. Yes, and used to, when me come and me show you my phone, and me show you up on my camera, me sure me get in a pot or something. So
Yes, I.
just using both things that come natural to me just to, teach and tell a story and just really show what we have here in Nevis. I mean, I tell everybody again, I live close to heaven right now because Nevis is one of them places where, the joy for me is to just step out of my house and pick food. Many places can't do that. You know, many
Yeah, but that's
persons
wealth,
who,
But that's wealth.
yeah, man, that's the true wealth for me, you check, and that's the true joy for me. And me just want to show people that yeah, anybody could do it. Anybody could plant food. Anybody
Okay.
could get a yard full of
Um,
food.
hold a second. Hold a second. I think I'm going to do this a little bit. We would have had our um, stint in the radio world as well, right, Bounce? And so what we're gonna do now, we're gonna take this back to make it more sort of an official interview, so to speak. So we're gonna try to get a little
you,
bit of your background history. So like the people who, I know you, Banky know you, but the folks
Yes, I.
who are logging in right now, they don't know
Yes,
anything
I.
about Ounce. So he's talking about Ounce. Who is Ounce? And I guess you could
True.
probably give them your official name and a little bit of your background in terms of, yeah, we know that you're from Hamilton and so on and all of that, but you could give us a little bit of that and then get into know, okay, yeah, what prompted you know
you,
to get a little bit more agriculture.
you want to stick me in like you do me on radio? Okay, let's go. um, most people know me as Ounce now, but I go by Irving Weeks. Been in communications all my life, from high school, CFBC, straight out CFBC, work in communication, cable and wireless. Worked my way up from a man working in a hole, gave me a job for 6 months, and I spent 10 years, as a technician. And, all the rest of the time I used to pursue media, worked at, one of the biggest radio station in the Caribbean, that's Band Radio. That's where I cut my teeth. And, a man Webo, coming up underneath a Webo and Decent and them man who really taught you the fundamentals of life, not only just media, but life on a whole. So me always come up with, I would say elders above me who was willing to teach me, check. Um, you know, Doing radio all my life, love it, then had to give it up because, the next big job said that, you can't do radio and be a technician and on call 24/7, we need you. So after a while, left the company, and that's when I really fell in love with agriculture because I left the company and I stayed home for a year and a half with my son because I decided that I was going to spend the first year of his life. I was going to give up a year of my life and doing nothing and spend a year with him. So, I raised my youth from the time my wife ready to go back out to this point. It's just me and he kicking it. From that, went back into radio, worked at a radio station, Choice. Did that for a number of years, and then got a call to do something on TV. So I worked at the News Island Administration, NTV, and I worked in the background, doing the photos, doing the interviews, creating certain programs. Just in the background, making things happen in the background and being that force in the background and pushing that positive energy in the background. So that brings me up to doing another 10 years, in media again. And then decide I ready to step back off and just do agriculture full time, during the COVID period is really when I really honed my skills because I was in the jungle for most of the time. Banky will tell you I cleaned 2 acres of land by myself and plant half an acre of fruit trees by myself. And that really showed me that, I could have do anything, you know. All the years of doing all of that, I had my backyard and my front yard. I never used to like my grandmother always tell me if grass could grow a spot. Bank you talk about Mansa and the legacy of Mansa putting in you, you're teaching, you're coming up with it. For me, it was my
Yes,
grandmother. She taught me everything she know, you check. I had a bed. To this day, I go up in the yard and my bed's still there. Me had a bed in the yard where me took care of that bed. Me plant wherever me want in that bed. And wherever me reap was mine. So bringing that to my yard and, building my house and putting my house in a way that it wasn't even about the house. I tell people I sleep in my house, but me live in my garden. So
yes, sorry.
just building that heavens around me and just planting fruit trees and talking to your man like a your banky, talking to man like a your yason who I really saw the passion in the man. I was like, bye, me wanna do this, many things me get in me yard. Me tell you, fruit trees wise, fruit trees is what me get from all your yard. When yason me na leave he down in the artisan village, you remember you gave me a bunch of coconut trees where you had in a pot and a couple of fruit trees, some carambola and them things there. Them in the backyard. So,
Yes, sorry.
my love for agriculture has always been there, although I was a technician, although I was an engineer, although I was a cameraman, although I was an editor, although I was a producer. Agriculture was my relaxation. So I decided that it's full time now. I do it and I start to teach what I've learned over the years and how to maximize your space and how to live off of your own land. A lot of people does say agriculture is hard work, but me dispute that.
Hold a second, hold a second, hold a second. No, I know it's your story, right?
Yeah.
Think there's a little piece, very vital piece that's missing out of the story before you get up to that part here. That's the vineyard pizza shop and kitchen. Um, that's the fact because
and, and
the
you funny you bring
farming,
it up because the other day we were reason about that.
yeah, the farming was a critical part of that because that all of that I saw
Yes, sorry.
in when I gave you those plants and so on, and when you used to check me and so on, it's all of that I saw in you. And I remember we having that discussion we were saying about you're on this pizza meditation, then one of the most wonderful things would be able to put the ingredients for the pizza and have it right there so that people
Right
come
there.
and they
Yes,
can
sorry.
see, hey, this is right. So give the public a little bit now, a bit more of that story
The
now.
vineyard, the vineyard concept came from, just knowing that my yard was producing food. Me had everything that I needed to survive, basically. And that was the whole concept of the vineyard was my grandmother used to tell me that a concept of a garden ain't about grass and flowers. It's about something that can sustain you. Something that can cause you to think less about a lot of things that a lot of people are worried about. And one of the main things is what we're gonna eat. So me love to bake. Me bake my bread, me bake my pizza. But I used to go places and order veggie pizza, and I used to hate the fact that when I order veggie pizza, I get mushrooms and onion, pan cheese, and to me that wasn't a veggie. That was just mushroom and olive and cheese. And talking to Yasan, and Yasan was the man who like, yeah man, you got the ingredients there, and you know how good it is if somebody could just come and pick. You could just go and pick fresh, and that they hit me ding ding. Why me want to wait for somebody to do it when I had the capabilities of doing it? Me not had no oven them time there, but I had an oil drum, and you know the whole concept was, all right then, let me just use everything that I had at hand, my coconut shell, my wood, and my pizza, and just do that. So the concept was the oil drum pizza. It was a veggie pizza, and the concept of the veggie pizza is whatever was fresh in the garden at the time was what was on the pizza. I mean, Banky had the pizza, and sometimes
Yeah,
into
man.
pizza was the
Wicked.
same.
Tomatoes, fresh
into
tomatoes, and you know what I mean? They can arrive nice.
Everything was
Yeah,
fresh
man.
because everything was picked to
Yeah,
order. Everything
nice.
was chopped up fresh to order. So, the
Plus
vineyard piece,
wicked.
and then the
Plus
crust now.
wicked.
The
Yeah,
crust
man.
now,
Nice.
the same time it was the agro processing. I think I went to agriculture open fair and they were doing the cassava flour and the breadfruit flour and the sweet potato flour, and I was like, all right then, this is something that I can incorporate. Mega cassava and mega sweet potato. Yeah, let me see how to make the flour and grind up my own thing and make my own crust. So when you got a veggie pizza, you got a veggie pizza, a vineyard pizza. It was a fresh pizza, sourdough, you know what I mean, whatever dough you wanted, like a breadfruit dough, or sometimes you trying a cassava dough or whatever. And it was whatever I could have read from the yard. And 90% of what, 80% of what, you know, went on that pizza come from right in the garden, right next to the shop, you know. Sometimes we used to tell people making shopping. They come and they order pizza, so make I go shopping now get the ingredients. And me grab and then me grab a basket and me grab me bash and me bunks over next to the fence and me go into my fence and me come back with everything and fresh basil and fresh herbs and a
Yeah,
tomato and
man.
your veggie pizza. I give people okra and pizza and all and people like, wow, I remember a man come and pick me
Mhm.
pizza apart. Tell me, buy no, nothing supposed to taste so good. Because everything was fresh. My sauce was
Yes.
done from a tomato. Everything was that. And that is something that really kicked off. But then, like I say, it was a partnership between me and my empress, and then when my wife transitioned now, it was like my love was just getting back in and just plan to check. And a lot of people ask me how me get through them kind of periods in my life, and I tell them it was agriculture, it was farming. You know, them 2 years in the jungle. You know, I'll tell a lot of people, me chop down some big tree with cutlass and axe. You know, but then when you're up there now and you open up on the air and you're breathing and you plant a tree and you see it come and you're eating some fresh fruits and everything, that was something that really built me back, not physically but mentally, bring me back. Eating fresh food, hiking the mountain every day brought me back, So yeah. Yeah, son, you wanna ask me
Yeah,
next
man.
question?
Actually, the man don't put any
Now,
time, the man don't put any time, yeah, so when the man don't do them
wait
things
now,
there and plant
wait
the
now,
kind of
wait
food,
now,
you don't
wait
set
now,
yourself,
wait now, because there's still a small, I can't even call it a small
Yo.
area. The um hiking to the hills aspect where you
Yeah.
deal with taking people and tours to the waterfalls in Nevis. I had that experience, so I mean it was a very very wonderful experience. and the knowledge and the information shared and the encounter with meeting up with seeing cocoa growing in the hills and so on. So a lot of the history of agriculture is very, very um, evident when you do things like what you do in terms of the hikes and taking people out and stuff. So, probably you could tap into a little bit of that, and then I guess after that, Banky, we could get into some other things. But I just wanted
Well,
people to know
me
still that who we have here with us is a multi-talented and um, very, very involved individual in not just agriculture, but in terms of really passionate about Navis and developing Navis and a lot of what Navis has and is taken for granted to some extent. Go ahead, Nabrid.
for for me, King, it's a love for this place we call Nevis. It's a love for this place called Oali. And if you love something so much that you want to gain as much wisdom as it is about it, and like I said, I'm the kind of person I like to ask a lot of questions, and sitting at my grandmother's feet and just listening to her about because her mother in hand used to work land and go there on plantations and build make beds and plant those stuff. So hearing about them things because she would tell me about fruit trees up in the mountain and trees big like a this and mango tree and that like that. And for me, I always love being out there in nature. You check just growing up, you know, in that when we grew up was only that I had up in Hamilton. You see the bush and fruit trees. You check. So
Mm.
the hiking now come from just being able, just wanting to tap into what we have naturally. A lot of times we take for granted what we still have here naturally, you know what I mean? And knowing that agriculture was in the hills back then, you want to explore them kind of places there and just getting into the hiking and hiking with man like Reggie and hiking to the top of the mountain and walking through the bush. And you know what, we just walk with one or two brethren and then that come to a love now where I like to teach. I take everybody. I take people from all over the world, speak a kind of different language. I take people on hikes so me never could communicate with them but point and smile and just explain to them because but the same main thing what resound in their heart is that we're in nature, so one of the purest that you could find anywhere in the world is what we have here in Nevis. And for me, it's basically taking my own people out. A man like you, Yasan, who been here for years and me carry on a certain place and just watch you like can't believe the heavens up there and just see how coming back from the experience there. And for me, taking people on these hikes is watching them coming back from it, coming back from an experience, especially some people from their home, when they come back and they realize, bye, this man just introduced me to a part of Nevis that, wow, you check,
I never see it in my
never
life.
seen, never seen.
Yeah.
And then, and then sometimes me go and still walking with my camera, you know what I mean? My eyes walk with a camera the whole concept of a Nevis moment. But I mean, I could capture the moment here for people who will never probably be able to come here. You check? Is one to tell a man about something, but it's the next thing to show him. Me, I always believe in showing. You check? Yeah. So the hiking thing is just me again, just sharing. It's just a love for Ireland, love for what is out there, love for what the universe put there, love for Mama Nature, and just love of life. You check? And you see it out there in the spirit's farm. You check? Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, man.
People,
Great. Yes, and
the number to call in if you want to be a part of the program is 1-869-662-7196. And this topic tonight, we are mainly on celebrating Mansa because we're going to have Mansa Fest this weekend. So for those of you who don't know about Mansa, Mansa was one of the backyard farmer kings. And needless to speak, he would have farmed almost all of his life, left a legacy. The last stop right there at Page Bay, Mansa's last stop. And Banky, the host of this program, has started to revive the spot and he's doing a lot of things over there right now. And as a part of not just doing things over there, commemorating his uncle because it was his uncle. is now having the first ever Mansa Fest coming up this weekend. So it's going to be like a mini Agro Fest. And we're looking forward for folks to come on out and be a part of it. And for those of you who are listening, if you have any experiences with Mansa that you want to share, you can share it. If you want to call in and talk about it, if you want to, put something on the Facebook wall, if you want to call in, numbers are 1-869-662-7196. And before I go back to you, Banky, one last thing from Ounce. I know you probably would have known Mansa personally. Since that's the topic, we wrap up
Yes,
on
sorry.
maybe your experiences with Mansa and how he probably have influenced you in any way, shape, or form, anything along that line, and then we could get back to any comments on the wall, or if anybody wants to call in and be a part.
My experiences, man, is when I used to work at the equestrian center and looking for something natural to drink, and the one place I always tell you just go across and check by man, say check, but you always pass the farm, you always see the man working, and you're going, and first thing about me was just amazed the fact there was so much fruit trees around the shop. You know what I mean? That they just amazed me, like first time I ever see a shop with some more fruit trees around it. And me say, Uncle, you got a lot of fruit tree, you check, that's my goal one of these days. And he laugh and he tell me, go through the door there so and look out the back and you see it, check. I mean look out there, some massive carambola tree out there and some pongo nut tree out there, look nice. You know what I mean? And that was inspiration for me. And just going back over the period of years, you're on your way to work or wherever and you stop there, son. Even if I go and go buy a drink, a fruit juice, I always walk out with me hand, pack of fruit. Can you tell me, walk with that, try that one there. And the mango here tastes better than the one there, but and it was always a teaching moment with Mansa. For me, it was always a teaching moment because no matter what you do or who around him and you ask him a question, he gonna stop and he explain. And then he tell you try it. So for me, it was always that giving spirit that I resonate with me. The man always give. Like me never leave a man yard, me never leave that the yard. To this day, when me go back to the bank, me alright. He just see me pick a caramel and walk out with one because even though me used to go there, the norm was for me to just dig to the back and pick a caramel and just walk out with about a couple in my pocket and me jump back in my chance and me gone. You know? So just to see now hearing where he start and go over there and reason with Banky and Banky could remember when what plant and what day and what because he uncle used to show he that now is inspiration for me because here's it now the legacy of the man still there still living to this day. Banky, how much mango me see you reap the other day,
Yeah,
and
man. We still get
the
mango for a
man
week
plant
tomorrow.
and he is a man plant that day you check. So for me now what Mansa really do for me showing that yeah one man could make a difference
Yeah, man.
generations and
That's
generations and
right.
generations after him, you check.
Yes.
And the real true wealth is when you live
It's
life
your
and know that you
food,
could feed that is your food. And sometimes people
of
think
course.
short
But
term, like, you know, you see it there, you see it working. Most people who know the man and interact with the man now go back and eat a mango from Mansa. It's like, buy me know the man who plant this year. And then to see bank, who come up and he'll tell me about yeah, but my uncle used to give me a go on through this say weed up between your row. Look now, he continue, so for me, banking me, we go there, me reason and me ask them, me love what you do. You check. Me love that, you're sure not only you do your thing, but you uphold a legacy of a great man. Because me look at man like a man, so me look at farmers and planters as them are some great people because ain't everybody could harness the elements. You understand me? Ain't everybody could be in one with nature. You check and do it at a level that it inspire a lot of people. to do the same thing. Sometimes you find some people when they do the thing, they inspire the next person and the next person and the next person. Banky will tell you countless of people who come out there and get slips and get a seed, me included. Me got sorrel from a plant, where mom implant. So the kind of legacy that is an inspiration for me. You know, showing me that the possibilities of just living from your little yard and expand and leave a legacy in a food that the next man could come and continue and add habit to that day. You know what I mean? So Mansa first, me can't wait because me know me gonna hear a lot of stories because people gonna come with their own personal experience. Check, and that sometimes amongst the living, that's how a man live on because everybody breathe life to your name. You check, because if you breathe and you exhale, that's life you give to that name. So you're gonna hear the stories of Mansa. Me want to document some of that and really get what kind of energy and what kind of thing he left on the heart of a lot of people and me this year. You check, you know what I mean? When you hear Mansa, you hear food, you hear love, you know what I mean? Although, he's a straight talker. So, and
Yes,
like
sir.
Banky said, the colorful language sometimes, but if you could get
Yeah,
past
man.
that, you realize, yeah, it's just the man communication and that, but he real passion is what he do. And my grandmother always tell me that, you learn a lot more about a man by what he do. You check, and a man is more showing. If a man tell you something, he will be able to change his mind. But if you do it, he show you what he is capable of. You check, so me inspired every time I walk out there. I tell Banky so the other day when I walk up, I say, but every time I come out here, me inspired because I see something new. You check, and then just to see the foundation there inspire me now to just lay foundations. And me youth I take it up now, and he don't take over a section of me and plant, and he don't take over me shade house. So me see that in play, you know what I mean? Seeing Banky taking it up now, and Banky, everybody know you from what all you've done in terms of agriculture throughout Nevis, you check, because me sure everybody who got something to plant or something in a garden probably get a seed or something from you. You know what I mean? But then to see you now take what Mansa did and then add your own knowledge to that then now, where you have gained what he would have taught you, right? And what you have gained, you put them together now, and then you just go over there and you just touch the place and you just see the whole farm just respond because it was like, yeah, the energy back on the farm again. You check, a caretaker is here. You check, you know what I mean? And
Yes, sir.
I watch the mango trees them respond and show blossom out of season, and it's like you could see the joy, the pear tree them happy. Me read trees, eh?
Yeah,
And you see
man.
the respond. I'm tell Mr. Banky over here happy that you're here, you know. So to see that legacy they continue, me just want to see people come out and just, what I mean, share the story and just see what the continuation of legacy could be. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people think about wealth is only about money, but me want people come out Sunday and really see. You know what I mean? And we don't just spread the word. A lot of people just tell me, "But I need this moment, you part this place there." I say, "But just go and see for yourself," because as much as me do some videos and me take pictures, it would never amount to the energy that you get when you go over there and you eat a fruit from there, and you interact and you see the farm and you see the layout and you see the order in which he layout, because Banky laid out how he know and how he learned from his uncle, everything in order. You know what I mean? And them is inspiration that live on, me tell you. Them are inspiration that goes on and kind of works there. It never die. You know what I mean? Because Banky and inspire the next man who gonna set it. even bigger. You check. I mean, I always believe, and that's my role, and that's our role, is to inspire the next man to do it better. Because Banky
Yes,
working on
sir.
the inspiration that he got as a youth. You check. Guys, if a man didn't really harness and motivate and fun that day, you know, Banky might have been a good truck driver, something else, but you see what inspiration produce, because now the man who you inspire now come back and take care of the things that you place there, you check.
True.
So
Universe, man.
I love
Alignment, you know?
universe. Yeah. So I love what I see over there. I am inspired every time I go. You know, I come back and I adapt a lot of that what I see done and add it to what I'm doing here at the vineyard, just to make the vineyard a lot more productive, you know. And I encourage people to come and visit the vineyard and see how it can be done on a smaller scale and still produce enough for a person to be comfortable and able to feed their family. And that's one of the one thing I don't stress about backyard farming, is that you don't have to worry about something to eat if you have it there.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, that's one of the fundamental things. If you don't have to worry about eating or where your food come from, that's one of the biggest stress that you have for your shoulder. You check.
I mean, you covered a lot in your point. Yeah, there's a lot that um, I totally agree with in regards to Mansa, in regards to the work that Banky is doing right now, and what it means, to be able to carry on that legacy of his uncle, and not even just carrying it on, but also finding himself in a position to advance, taking it to the next level. So it's like, it's like he built the foundation, and now Banky putting on the upstairs, and putting on the roof, and
Yeah, man.
because Banky is not just going and selling in the shop and stuff. Banky now is actually doing what man sort of want to do in terms of doing these courses and teaching and passing it on, making sure that the knowledge don't just stick to him, but he's
Yes,
he's
sir.
so caring and open that he's giving it to every and anybody who would desire to get it, and that kind of selflessness is what is important and needed for us right now, especially in the position where we are in regards to food security and food sovereignty at this point. And so, Banky, in regards to that, the only thing I would dare say, I think that maybe the event should have been promoted a little bit more and promoted earlier. But however, the first one, and we will do what we can do from here on to push it for the next couple of days and get people to come on out and time. But I know in the years to come, so this is just supposed to kind of set the trend. But I am really, really happy that you would have made the decision. So the fact that it was not promoted earlier, I don't even count that so much as the thought of doing something in commemoration of man. So don't even let that here at
Yes,
the time.
sir.
I just put it out there in reality because once we know promotion, so we know
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But um,
Yes.
enough respect to that. Before you come back in, Banky, I'll just put a couple of the comments on the Facebook wall while I'm on the floor. So we have Woodland
Yes.
Hill logging in, Woodland Hill. So watching with you. We have Philly Stapleton. We have not heard him for a while, and I guess maybe he did
Yeah.
not know that we
Good evening,
move from that
good
platform
evening, Mr.
to
Stapleton.
this platform. But Julian, we're here, and we're here every Friday night. So from 7, usually 7:30, we're
Yeah.
here on the Real Entertainment Network, doing everything agriculture. We're still gonna do the link up with Alan on Tuesday, the last Tuesday in the month, with a specific emphasis on the topic of cannabis. We got Brenda Ferguson saying hello. We got Yvonne Jeffers. I think she's somewhere in England. Um, she's
Yes.
saying good
Good
morning,
evening,
all.
all.
Definitely, she's in England. Um, and so we want to say good night to all of the other folks who are on the Facebook wall with us. please, share the link, share it to a friend and friends and friends and let people know that we're here on Real Entertainment Network. Come and support the platform, be a part of it. Banky, well, the thing is, well, sorry, one more thing before. The number to call in if you want to be a part of the program is 1-869-662-7196. 1-869-662-7196. Okay. So, Banky, um, uh, you are the nephew of Mansa. So in terms of Mansa and people, knowing a little bit about Mansa and knowing some of the history, you would be one of the perfect persons to share a little bit more about Mansa's legacy with us from your personal experience, especially knowing to that you would have grown up around him and going with him fishing on that other side. Because some people know the farming side in terms of the
Yeah,
planting crops and so on, but some people don't know the fishing side as well, which is another side that you can
true.
share with us a little bit. So give us a little bit about that and continue on.
Well, growing up in Code with with a big family, my grandmother, 10 children, then my mom, you know what I mean, 8 of us. So the family, and then you still have Kingsley live in the yard, and then you have my uncles and them, Breno, a butcher, Flakes work on boat with TDC, Sakara, and you know what I mean, them both have to load up the blocks and the drinks and all and different stuff. And then you have Mansa, who is a fisherman, he's a carpenter, and then he still do gardening when he come up the sea. And then you still have the whole yard full up of food, and then you have to watch Kingsley make fish pot and many net and all. So you're between all this every day, 7 days a week. So even though I may go and check for my virgin and them, they ain't have that. You see? So I know would have chores. So I might have my own garden, take care of the yard and stuff like that, do my own garden, plant flowers, plant little foods and stuff like that. And then I'm in primary school, you see what I'm talking about?
Mm.
7, 8, 9, primary school, and then you'll say, well, you getting fancy. And if you're not getting fancy this week, 11 getting fancy Saturday or whatever. And then if you're not getting fancy, then Brian, you might have to go in the market to butcher, because he's a butcher to sell meat. So in the weekdays, however, so if Brian have to go look for animal in Indian Castle, in Clem, David, you know what I mean? We used to call him MacGyver. Then we have to go with Brian and go look for animals and them and different stuff. So he would work with me, and then he'd work with Chang. So me and Chang spent a lot of time together as cousins. You see what I mean? 'Cause then Chang father is a brother. So he grew up with us. So he's like, so he'll say, well, we can pan tell him what you're going fancy with me. It's all right. So then we have to get up early in the morning. Whether in 8 years, 9 years. So we head out. Place dark, You see what I mean? So sometimes Chang will come if not, but Chang might have to go and check for him mom and different vibes and stuff like that. So it's just me all the time at Tagalang, cause me ain't nothing to do. So at the end of the day, plus I know me guy drive the boat. So them they still feel like another youth, cause he teaching you things. You see what I mean? So it's like me is an asset to he when you look at then he'll be doing deal with the rope and whatever. Well, we go out to see he gonna like short lines like a toe in case he catch anything our way. You see what I mean? I can meditate, I can vibes there. So and then you'll say, okay, then you see that day, so we'll point up to maybe Mount Travers, and then you'll say, well, you see the
Mm.
one over there, the Anglican Church. He said, them there's markers. You see what I mean? So it's like you can't them not gonna move from there. Okay, so you line
Okay.
up with them there and you're heading out, and then you can pick something off over in St. Kitts. You understand? To line up, so when you line up, then you know where you're going. So when time you're going out, and I look back and say, Caribbean Queen Virgin, and I use my little baby finger, I say, wait, the man, you're mad. Because we got a little engine, a fatty, and then I mean, access the boat to the Virgin Camera. I mean, you're your uncle, you're one, so you're wise. You can see the danger you're at, you're in a fool. You see what I mean? So when people think the children 7 and 8 and not, and forget the children are wise and analyzing things, you got to speak to them. So that's why I speak. Nobody never speak to my youth now. Go, 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 boo, boo. No, 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 can't talk to me like a son. Stop. You'd understand? No, never,
English.
ever, none of them. You see what I mean? So me say, wait, well, nobody gonna find us, you know. Anything up notice, nobody gonna find us for sure. He's like, no,
Mm-hmm.
boom. Man start finding the pattern then me say, what the hell is this? This man is genius. You know what I'm saying? Because me say, no way. Man, the man find everything. You understand? Jack that the day. So me, then one time we out the so and one day we tangle up in the pot. And it drop when it the pot drop back over. I was gonna try it over the rope now. Stay up. Virgin. Without even thinking the man down in the water, you know. He said, well, so well. But when me go tell me mother now, so me go got no car. How he gonna kill off himself over one pot? And me say, well, only a pot. But it's well, so they can hold our whole deck is the place so that's dark. The water so dark out there so you can't see not even 1 inch below the water. How me know the man surf back up with the rope in the hand and pull back up the pot. Say, well, yo, you could have yes, when you laugh. Me and you, you know, and witness these nonsense there, you know, what this man are doing, and I show you the mentality the man got, you know. The man, when we look over at him, I see the man, that place so dark, and the man bring back up the pot and pull back up the pot, and then we beat it and whatever and good. So these are the things, and then if you're going back in now, then we'll pick back up Henky, and Henky will have some parts set outside Kral, outside Low Street, in the area there by the artisan village area over there, where where they have the color, the cemetery by the old music
Mhm.
cinema. So
Mm-hmm.
Henky will have pads set inside there, but you don't have shallow bottom, so you don't have on a rope. So we'll pick up Henky, and then we'll go back across the Henky pull the pattern, then we'll come back in now. Well, me have to go sell the fish them, you know. Remember your youth, you know, Virgin. You 8 and 9 and 10 and whatever, and this man put you to face Navy's crowd, you know. When you come back in, he know a pass load everything, you know, this for this, that for that, that for that. So if you got 50 pound of fish or 100 pound of fish, that they will cut in half or a quarter, you know, wherever that they be. All the children, them mother have to get fish. The mother have to get fish. And my mother, and me have to get fish, you can go to my mother. And that's how he set it. So if no fish left back, no, he has no fish to sell today. That's how this man is. So when he come out,
Mm.
is me say all these things, you know, so me know how I get fish, because me see them, they come for the, all these females come for the fish, boom, boom, boom. And all these different kind of, and that's just who he was. You see what I mean? And then me go sell the fish, then tell the fish is like $8, $8 a pound and whatever. And you'll tell them, they'll come and say, oh, they want this. Me say, well, you can't get all the snapper fish. You know what I mean? All the tom fish you have to, because other people gonna want too. So as a youth,
Mhm.
you learn how to sell, because when you own him, this is how he sell and stuff like that and communicate. And my uncle Bueno, that's how they communicate with the customers. The only one also no, you can't get all beef, because mutton kind of slow, so you have to get a piece of pork with the mutton, a piece of beef or something with the mutton, because you can't get all this mutton and whatever. So the man will build. So that is how we do transition and just speak the same way and stuff like that. So the aggressiveness, well, how to approach you doesn't really phase me. So that's why you see when people, it doesn't bother me, because we're custom for these things. And then my mom still will do her tray and we patch nuts and stuff like that. So these things, people tone and all this don't bother. We will just walk off or just even shut it down, because it's you controlling the business. You see? So people can demand what they want when you're having a business, you know. Is you set your rules and you go along with it, and they comply, because they're going to the big supermarket and other stuff. They just go along with it. They can't change nothing. But when the small man now is like, I have my Manso Fest coming up Sunday. I have mangoes harvested, I have sweet potato harvested. But I'm not selling sweet potato and mangoes until Sunday. You see what I mean? I gotta stick with that, because when agriculture having the events and stuff like, and other people having events, you gotta hold back your stuff. Otherwise, you ain't gonna have nothing to sell. When the customers come there, and people show up, then they can't have nothing to sell. So you can't. So you gotta take orders and hold stuff for people. No, it don't work like that. So people can call me and tell me, oh, hold this for me. Me not hold on for nobody. That's the, you understand? We can have an event. Who come to the event? That's what the event for them to buy. You not hold stuff for people, so that don't make no sense. So we have to keep things business, professional, and these are what things the pastor and my mom the same way we still into business herself and stuff like that. So all what I'm doing is nothing new. My other siblings them is the same way. Chang them is the same way. Lexi and all my sister and they see how our family is restructured when it comes to business. Might work for somebody temporarily, but don't think I will stick around all my life. That never work. I'm just there to give my presence of the past and teachings. But if you don't listen to me, I'm just gonna leave. Because what I'm doing by Mansa, at Indian castle with the government. I told the pennies them to do these same things. They could do too. I don't hold back information because the more of us do these things, I go to a museum, the more people you teach, and the more people you interact with. You meet all kind of people. So these are things. I don't hide information with Virgin. You understand? Any kind of skills that I have, I always pass it on, and it's the right thing to do because I know myself. You see what I mean? And I train myself to live as if like I don't have cars. You have to live like only you want to exist, you know. So I learned to work by myself doing different stuff. You don't over exert yourself. There are days you just sit down, chill, relax, observe the farm. There are days you might pick fruits, and you just relax. Whatever it is, you put in 1 hour, 2 hours, and you fall back and you're cool. You just said in your
You know,
meditation is not the hours you put in, you know, is how you approach the work and what you accomplish each day. You don't have to work 9, 6, 4, 5 hours. You work 1 hour and then they don't have half an hour and you just chill. Because you accomplish your task and that's it. That is how you
Mhm.
perform work.
there was
You see, we're just
something
speaking.
that you,
Uh-huh.
you and Owens um alluded to in two different ways. Um,
Yes,
there was a point where earlier on in your discussion about Mansa, when you started to talk about Mansa, you said that
yes.
there was a point when the Ministry of Agriculture were giving him a fight for planting a lot of
Yeah,
fruit trees on the farm
food cheese. Yes, yes.
because they were not into that. And it
Of
shows
course.
the mindset of
Yes,
the people in regards to agriculture. And a lot of the times, too, the people at the helm, the people who are in
yes.
those positions to really push
Of
agriculture.
course.
Ounce went into um, talking about some of the things that he learned from his grandmother in terms of being able to be um, self-sustained, that you're able to grow enough to be able to at least feed yourself and how critical and how important that is. Um, that was the culture that I grew up with as well, because I grew up in a culture where I could recall my grandmother also having her own chickens, and so they would have their own eggs, they would have their own chicken, and at some point, back then they would have what we call yard fowl, and they would kill the yard fowl and eat the yard fowl. They raise a little pig, and where the peelings and so on from the food and the waste and so on go to the pig. They had the little sheep and goat and so on. And so sometimes, and they had the backyard garden as well, where they grow the tomato and the
Yes, fine.
pumpkin and the corn and beans and whatever else that they grow, breadfruit, and they have the fruit trees as well. So as also saying, we sometimes look back, we could look back and say, but how these people got 9 and 10 children and 11 and survived, were able to
Yes.
maintain these children and so on. But it was some of
They got
these things
food.
that they did that were able to
Yes.
sustain them, even though they didn't have money like we may be privy to in these times. They had that cultural thing in them where yes, we're gonna go, at least we got a little backyard garden and we had we little animals and we had we little, whatever to help
Your food
sustain.
that sustain you. That's your wealth. You
Sustainable.
But
can't need money. You can't need
but,
money. Put
but
it in the
we
pot and season it up now.
but Banky, look at where we are right now, where
Yes.
have to reteach that. And that's what I'm talking about. We are at the point now where we
Yes.
have to reteach that because
Yes.
we have lost that to
Of course.
get up with the Americanized version or the Europeanized version of, maybe everything in box and cans and this convenient life and this easy life and so on, and not necessarily realizing the the detriment that leads to in terms of sometimes the long-term diseases and illnesses that we are being plagued with that in a lot of cases could be reduced by shifting the diet and doing some of exactly what we are
Mm-hmm.
saying, what Ounce is doing in terms of
Yes.
demonstrating it with his vineyard, with you, what you're doing over there with 5 acres, and demonstrating, okay, now that you're not just growing food and selling for yourself, but you're also demonstrating how the farm, which is what, like I said, putting on the upper level now on what Manchester started. We're showing how the farm now can create business for its own self and having a
Yeah,
business
man.
there where now you can not just sell the raw material, but you can also get into a bit of processing as well by making the drinks
Yes.
and cooking whatever and maybe
Yes.
baking and different things like that. Demonstrating what we really should be doing with agriculture to inspire and empower even some of our younger people, especially
Yes.
the youth coming out of school and so on, who are looking for alternative career opportunities, and they could see some positive um, avenues within agriculture where they can, apart from being employed, become employers, being entrepreneurs, and then
Yeah, yeah.
employing people into some of their businesses and ventures and so on. So that jumped out at me as I listened to the discussion. And somebody here saying that's Carlisle Parish, Russell Jimmer, saying that was part of the culture of the people, especially important was agriculture. Agriculture was a part of our lifestyle as Nibijans. Self-sufficiency, that's checking in. Yeah. So yeah, that was our culture, and as I'm saying, that's what I grew up with, and even that I spoke about my grandparents, but that passed down to me on my father and my mother's side as well, because
Hmm,
I
hmm.
mean, as you can see, banking by evidence, and you go, my yard is an orchard.
Yeah,
My
man.
yard
Yeah,
where you
yeah, yeah,
over
yeah,
there,
yeah.
that's an orchard,
From outer
right?
road, from outer
Um,
road to back.
yeah, the only space you got is where the house is, where you know what I mean? It's just and even in recent times, I think last year, my mom was awarded by the folks for one of the best kept gardens still. So that legacy is there. We still continue with the nursery. We just like you're saying, we want to continue that legacy because we want to be able to maintain a lot of the indigenous fruit trees and so that we have around. A lot of the times, construction is one thing, so we look at development from that side. But if you're not maintaining a lot of your indigenous fruits and plants and so on, you're going to be constructing for who? Because if you don't have the food to feed the people, and the people are going to die. And we are in a situation now where we are already so dependent on imports. And when we look at what's going on globally, we are running so much risk of not getting access to these imported food. I don't see why we are not really more serious about, you know, taking on opportunities like what is being made available by people like Banky and the other farmers and so on. Especially Banky, I'm saying right now because he's taking the time out to put the courses out there that can help equip you to do better. Even some of you who are already in involved in the industry, you can and should, avail yourself of some of these workshops and, just be better. Um,
Yes.
there's a lot of things it seems like as well we would have to do on our own. And so when I say on our own, I mean without having to depend on government, by,
Of course.
whether creating our own cooperatives or our own groups and so
Yes.
on, to make things happen. I think that is something that we have to really seriously look at because for me personally, when I look at what's going on, and I am not on the ground and Nevis, but I take the cue from people like Banky and so on, who is a farmer, is going through what is going on. And when I listen to the fact that there's not much that is happening from the Nevis Island administration in regards to agriculture, even that is evidenced by the fact that certain things that they should have and could have done from a federal level, they're not doing. Banky as a farmer had to be able to do for himself and even assist others to do is a clear demonstration that, well, what I mean, you ain't really that serious with this move to really reduce the food import bill. Because here is it federally, you had opportunities to get equipment and so on for this specific agenda. And all you needed to do was to send a list of the farmers and navies so that they could benefit from this agenda. And you did not send the list.
Yes, I.
So, I mean, so when I look at these things, I am at the point where Banky, we really have to seek to organize ourselves to do certain things and present whatever proposals to whether it's other funding agencies or other, because that's the other thing. There's a lot of money out there available for projects and so on. But even that seemingly we don't get information on, so that even if they're not going to move on it, it's not made, the information is not made available for others to get themselves together and jump on it. So this is just something that I am thinking that, as I was speaking, it jumped out at me that that is something that we may have to do. So after year, maybe, me and you and Ons and, maybe a few others may just have to work on something like that.
But
But
yeah, son, I know I hear you speak, and I mean we hear the same talk. Because I asked myself a few questions before I made the jump. Bank, you know, we reason, and you know, it was a point where I am asking why they can't do it, why the system can't do it, why is it so obvious? Why is it when you say certain and when you demonstrate certain, you find there's just a lot of talk, and then you, I start asking myself the question, well, who can do it? You know what I mean? Who else could do it? You know what I mean? Who else could tell the story? Who else can make shine a light on this? And then you realize that yeah, you answer yourself and you say, "But the only person is me in my own little way." So there are many of us farmers out there who feel the squeeze and hope and wish. And I encourage us to just everybody in their own strength come together, because this is a collective. This can be a movement. When Banky made the move and everything over there at Mansell's, Mr. Banky, me gonna use my camera, me gonna tell the story. Yeah, me do the thing in the vineyard, but me could show the comparisons and me gonna make it out there. So, like you say, maybe it takes a collective now to really push that from the outside and show that by here we could band ourselves together. We can approach international bodies, because me going by myself and Banky going by himself ain't gonna be as much strength as if three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10 of us come together and say, yo, this is what we want to do. We're serious about this. But not only talking that we serious about this and this is what we want to do, but no, we're demonstrating that this is what we done do
uh,
over the years. You understand?
we just
Show
need to
that
expand now
we just
and
need to
take it to
expand.
Yes,
that other
sir.
level.
So,
Yeah, man.
when
Perfect.
Banky talk
Yeah.
about doing the workshops and everything, like, yeah, we have to teach because somebody out there want the knowledge.
Yeah.
They need it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
look
people
towards
because
somebody
I
to
wanna
bring that
eat.
information to them. Yeah. So, the movement is there. We're now connecting the dots. There are dots out there. So, to just connect the dots and paint the bigger picture. And I feel that is what we are right now. And this is the movement right now. And a lot of people who are listening want something like this and would love to be a part of something like this. So, everybody could just meet one, and we just add and we just come together and make this thing happen.
You see, yes, and everything I'm doing is what Mansoda wanted, because he's the kind of person who just always pass on information. And there's one thing you'll always say: if you're planting cassava and planting bananas, you ain't planting, because these are things that are going to sustain when nothing is around. You can always make flour from them. You can harvest the cassava when you're ready to harvest. You don't have to dig them out. You see what I mean? They're going to just get bigger and bigger and bigger. Once we're going to grow them,
Scratch and pull.
trouble them, scratch and eat, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. But these are things, he's a man just like to reason, you know. You see all of these is literature. You know what I mean? Ethiopian church and stuff like that. There's a book that copied and he told me was banned over the years. And because he met all kind of people that from all over, from all different colors. And one thing he always tell me, you see them people there who don't look like us, they think they are us. They you see, they want to be us. You understand? That's what the eyes are on us. You see, because the eyes want to tap into us. They want to be on his farm and continue to come on his farm. How kind of botanists, scientists. And one thing that they come for when they come there, they all want to learn our medicinal, the knowledge of the medicinal plants. You see what I mean? They always want some of your seeds to take back and all this different stuff. They, they never stop coming in a virgin. They come in the name of the church, they come in the name of tourists, they come in of all kind of things. It's people seeking information, your knowledge, your ancient knowledge that you have. But we are lost because we don't realize what we have. Your food is your wealth in the virgin. The world had shut down before for a whole year, 2 years, And you all realize you might not mean nothing. You so they had you like a sheep. You go line up and them a party. And I got a big party now, boy, but none of the rules. So who a fool who? You see? I see it twice, definitely, but you see that they know you all are very forgetful. But me don't forget. Never forget. You see what I mean? Because this is how Mansa speak all the time. Them you have to understand Mansa is a title, like a king. Mansa Musa. You see what I mean? One
Mm.
of the richest man king out of Ghana. Mansa Musa, when the man they travel go all for miles and miles and miles go conquer and all when they come back, is a whole city them army conquer and give them as gift. And that's who the man name Mansa Musa. All the children them is African's name, Kwame, Menelek. You can check them out. They're kings. So his children got to understand how the man named them. They're supposed to live up to the name. That name is very important. You dig? But people just lose themselves easily because of the environment that you're in.
Yeah, the
Because every time
environment.
we speak and we put hard in front of work, you shut down your psyche in a virgin. I don't use hard in front of nothing. I just exerting effort. And once you know your inner self and know you're God, can you look for God, no come out in us kind of know yourself that you are God, know your God self, know your divine. I know these things, and I teach my children these things. I'm not, me ain't gonna say about no future can tell me nothing who don't know himself when I know myself. You see what I'm thinking? Because it's all in the mind in a virgin. Your manifestation, if before you approach to do something, you manifest it, it's gonna happen. Nobody can
It
stop
happened.
nothing. You're just positive, it will happen. But the system that put things everywhere is
So,
one link,
Auntie,
everything about money. Yes, I.
tell us, tell us a little bit about some of the events planned for Sunday. When folks come out there, what are some of the things that they could look forward to? If you want to maybe, put in anything special or, a little secret that they might, you know, you know, not necessarily be on the flyer, but you would want them to know. So, invite more people to come out, give us an idea of some of the things that would be happening and that. And you can let them know exactly what the
Well,
date is and the times and
yes.
all that.
Well, definitely. Well, tomorrow for sure is the workshop on pest management and the PPE, your personal protective equipment. And we have a lot of farmers will be spraying a lot of herbicides and dangerous pesticides. They have on short pant, have on no shirt, no mask, no clothes, just a short, just nothing, and just spraying out there and even spraying with their family around them. We don't, and the danger of this is really sad. You see what I mean? So, and then spraying is the last option. So these workshops are very important. It's only $40. The money is just to pay for the tents and all this different stuff and the chairs and all this and stuff like that. I'm not making up. These workshops are really $300, $600. You understand? So it's a part of giving back to the community. The knowledge that that I've gathered over the years is taxpayers' money sent me all over the world. So why not give back the training to the same taxpayers? Is the right thing to do. A lot of people have all kind of masters and PhDs and bachelors and all kind of degrees and don't pass on no information. They just keep this thing to themselves. You understand? These are
Yeah, man.
madness. Madness. We live in a society that have so much trained engineers and this and that and all kind of stuff. And only one or two might have classes or whatever. The masses just keep things to themselves because they're lost and consume about money. I never worry about money. My wife can't tell me about the money. We don't about the money. I don't want about the money, Virgin. That money can't make you happy. Money can't fill the belly. Money can't, you understand? It don't bring happiness. You see what I mean? So I'm not attached to nothing material because I understand it's all an illusion and it's all dead people to put on top there. Think about it. So you're running down dead people. You see what I'm talking about? About people that see these things. But it is what it is. But this Sunday coming up, yeah, son, we're gonna have the man first, the first one. It's important because he loves to do tours. That's something he's been doing over the years. Tours,
Hmm.
and he loves seeing people connect with the fruits and eating the fruits and in a positive way, and he understands the medicinal plants and all these things. and that is why. And he used to make his own the aloe tablet and stuff like that from when the aloe drip. I have all the recipes and stuff like that that he doing when he making his. I remember one thing when he making his tomato jams and all these things. So tell me one thing, just make sure you got a fire outside because you're gonna burn your gas. Because it take long to come in the tomato jam because the tomato gonna spill a lot of water. So you don't have to add
Yeah.
much
Mm.
water. It's just more tomatoes and then your sugar and your spices and stuff. And then beautiful jam, man. Beautiful if you make tomato, beautiful. So I see, and then you make it noni. So I have to go pick some noni off the tree and set them and all this different stuff. So being around, you don't, you tend not to, but you not really realize that, you know what I mean, he grooming you and passing on the knowledge. And then you start, when you by yourself and you start to realize, okay, all right. And then you just accept it. You see, so what I'm doing is just a way of bringing the community together. 'Cause that's what he have done on his farm to all the hotel and stuff like that and all this different stuff. But we have different business concepts. You see what I mean? And different ways of running business. How he run business is different how I run business. And because I learned over the years, you understand? Because farming is something when, especially when you're investing in farming and all these things, you spend a lot of money and all these things, getting resources done, and then we have an environment where people want to come and trust your stuff, and then you can't get your funding back, and then they spend half your money and do and tell you all kind of stories and then like that. A farmer can be growing his stuff for months, and when he come to harvest, everybody want to call your phone and want, I want 1,000 pound, a million, I want 500 pound of this, 300 pound of that, and then you get all your food, and then you just sitting back waiting when people pull up. It don't work like that. You see what I mean? It don't work like that. Those kind of concepts need to change. And this is the thing when in the Department of Agriculture, you tell them marketing should have an account when farmers bring the stuff, you pay them for the stuff one time. So they have a cash flow. You can't be turning people money like that. And the same thing with the big supermarkets. They want to do stuff. I don't trust. You dig? You know what I mean? I don't trust because I've done it before. I have over nearly $30,000 in Monster that people owe me. I have people in the market owe me too. You see what I mean? I have people all over owe me, but I don't worry about stuff like that because it's one thing on always is planned food. You see what I mean? Always plan food. So I ain't gonna argue with everybody over the money. That's one thing I'm not gonna do. I just like to take classes and I continue because I now have no hatred in my heart about over the body, over the money and them things they can't. Me when I always got food in a virgin. That one thing. Me not got nothing to do right now. For the rest of my life, me have
That's the
nothing to do with
joy.
plan food, you know. And once me got time on my hand, well, the farmers then gotta get themselves together and be serious about this thing. Those who serious will continue to plant food, you know. And those who just into it to hustle it and don't have it as a lifestyle. 'Cause this is my life. You see what I mean? It's not no fronting now me run down the money no matter me have to eat. And when me plant, me use a lot of that too. You see what I mean? So me have to make style drink.
Any
You see what I
activity,
mean? In my house.
any activity for the children specifically?
Well, we're gonna have bouncing castle. We're gonna have mangoes. And the mangoes them is I don't they won't be back as varieties. You have Amipali in there, grafted mango, long mango, Julie mango. You have teeny mango, seedy mango, and the regular pali. The bag that will be mixed. You're not gonna be getting a bag full of Amipali. Not gonna work like that. It's all about balance. Everybody should benefit. You see what I mean? So if you get a $5 bag, you have in different mangoes in there, your stuff like that. Then you have sorrel, you have potatoes, $5 a bag, same way. You have pumpkin, so probably just where them want to put on the price at least, you know. You just take up. Then you have dominoes, so the guys then come out and the females then to play dominoes and stuff like that. It's a
Yeah,
fun day
yeah.
bouncing castle. You have pumpkins, and you still have sugar cane, and you have you have vendors selling jelly water. You get fresh jelly water.
Still have
You
vendors
have
as well. All right.
yeah, you have ital food. The
Musical
young lady
entertainment
is
as
not.
well too.
Yeah, you have DJ Dandy will be on the turntable with some nice music and stuff like that, and you have uh, popcorns and slush machines and kind of that. Just a nice stuff like that I used to
Yeah,
organize at
man.
Indian
And
Castle.
that,
You see what I
that's what
mean?
I'm saying. I just wanted the
Just and
public
then I
to
have
get an idea of all of these things because they hear
yes,
Mansa Fest is the first ever. So I want them to get the
yes,
idea that it's started like a mini agro fest. You know what I mean? A mini agri fest.
yes.
So come out,
On the
bring the
farm, keep it on the
family.
farm,
You
on the
know what I mean?
farm.
And come on the farm, learn a little bit about what's going on. See the man.
Well, your son,
You've been seeing the moments. We have Ounce here on the platform with us this evening. And before you get back in, Banky,
Yeah.
Couple of comments. Carlisle Paris said, I witnessed my father doing the same thing. Fred Paris, who was a farmer.
Yes.
Gigi Williams Speed said, good night to the panel. Carlisle Paris again. He said his last comment was, big up to Ras Ounce for your works in showcasing the agriculture and heritage of the island, especially with what I see in relationship to Banky and the Mansell's operation. Ras, keep up the great work, Ounce. So, yeah,
Blessings,
people out
King.
there
That's
seeing the
Blessings.
nice.
work, that's the thing, sometimes a lot of people on social media, they might not come on your page or they may not say anything or they may not comment, but they are watching and observing, That's sometimes the sad part because it's good sometimes to give people praises, especially while they're doing what they're doing. I am one of those kind of people. I don't want to have to be talking about no eulogy and stuff. I want to do it while you're here, so you could hear
Yes,
me,
I.
and I could let you know that I feel proud of what you're doing, and and I can share my sentiments, and in any way, shape or form I could assist to push forward the energy. That's where I am, and I hope a lot more of our people can, really begin to be like that. Because I find sometimes that's one of the things that's lacking amongst us. We are always willing to criticize and critique, when things are going wrong. But when our people are doing good, we are sometimes not the ones up front in pushing to say, yeah, you're doing good. We give you a little support. I mean, I mean, sometimes you might not be able to put a $50 in a person's hand, but by giving them a word of encouragement, in a case like this here, share the link or share the live, how much it costs you to just click like or to just
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
share. You know what I mean?
Yes, I.
So sometimes it's the little things that's really of value sometimes that we sometimes overlook as a people. And so on the farming side, again, is a pity. I must say, in the latter part of Mansell's life, he did get some recognition from the tourism authority and so on. So he was a well-known figure as well. So he was not just a
Yes.
regular farmer. He was one of the farmers who was definitely recognized. And I say that because I think in a lot of cases, a lot more of our farmers need to be highlighted and recognized. Again, I'll come back and say people like Emonine, who
Yes, I.
Yeah.
And Bill,
Nevis,
her husband
representing
Billy, who
Nevis,
passed on also.
right?
And
They
remember,
have not just
remember, it's a team,
representing Nevis. Yes,
Yes.
they have been going out to St. Croix. Imagine leaving Nevis every year, going to St. Croix and
And
compete
winning.
with other farmers from all over the
And win.
Caribbean and have been successful for over 13 years back to back, back
Yes.
to back 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 to back. And we don't hear much about these things. We don't
I think
hear
Saint Kitts come
much
second
about this kind of
last year
contribution. Yes,
or the year
Sinkis
before.
participated and they came second last year. They participated
Miss
for the
Speed, big up
first
Miss
time.
Speed.
And they made a big thing out of the
Yes,
presentation. And I'm not saying that anything is wrong with that because that is what they should do.
of
However,
course.
I am saying that we need to see that as well from Nevis because I'm
Accomplishment.
sure apart from me saying this, a lot of people don't know that this has been happening annually.
Yeah.
Clementine
Yeah,
and her
yeah, yeah.
husband were doing it. And after he
Yeah.
had passed, she had continued and she's still
Yes.
victorious on her own. And so
Yes.
when you have people like these who continue, we have some young people now, I shouldn't say young, but some other people who are also, well, some young people too, and some other people who are now on the forefront. We have, people like Danny Atherton, and Danny Atherton would have been around for a very long time, but more prominent now because he has gotten into the hydroponic side of things and is very much involved with the lettuce production and things like that. He also has a similar operation to Banky. I'm not sure if he does a lot of tours as well, but I know he have a lot of fruit
He do
trees
two, he
and
do
things
two,
like
yeah,
that.
Danny the tours and different stuff, same too. Yeah.
Okay,
He the
so we
tours.
have
And Danny was one of the
Mackie
first
Clark.
hydroponic system on the island also too.
Mm.
His hydroponic
Okay,
system is one of the
so we
first
have,
on the
we have Mackie
island for
Clark,
since in the 90s. Yes.
Mackie Trust, who
Yeah.
is the
Paris
A1
Leafy
Farms and
Green.
A1 Production. Then you have
You have
Paris, young Paris, with leafy
yes,
green, and
lettuce.
I
Yeah.
mean, we need to be able to promote these youngsters, give them
Yes.
motivation, continue to encourage them, while at the same time, give enough respect to those who would have led the way. The Dole,
Right, yeah.
the the Ellis, the
Yeah, man.
the people them from Catesby, um um well,
Good
yeah,
Hanley
the
them. The
Hanleys them
Hanley.
at that point.
Only them.
Yeah, the
Then
Hanleys.
you still have
You
Ben over
had
there. You still have Ben. You have Ras Ben from
Haji, Ben, Rush Ben,
yes.
and these people there.
And
I
then you have
mean, for
goalie. You have
years
the
and years
goalie
and years,
William and them, goalie and them.
making the contribution in farming
Yeah.
for years and years and years, and not given, the kind of recognition. I think, this is why I'm saying, Banky. I I I I want the media side of agricultural science, the PRO and so on, to to really do some work in terms of seeking to interview these people and highlight these people and team up with NNC or whoever they need to bring this. You got social media, use social media
Just
to your
now.
advantage and so on. Well, Ounce, um,
Just
if you're
now.
gonna if you're gonna take it up and do it, I give thanks to that.
Yes.
But this is something that
Just now. Just
we
now.
really need to do, because we want to, not, like I said, for me, I don't want to have to hear these things when they pass away. I want to be able to hear them. I want to be able to see them on
Yes.
video and so on. Let them tell their story. Let them, get a chance to at least let people see what they have been doing and not getting a lot of contribution for a recognition for, sorry, for the serious
Yes.
contribution that they have been making, and that we need um, to get ourselves into that position where we can sustain ourselves in terms of food sustainability and sovereignty. So that side where we control our food, not just to be secured, we need to be able to control it. So one of the other things that I am pushing for ounce, I mean, I don't know if you've ever heard me push it this much, but seed bank. We need to be able to have our own seeds secured and backup. We could control that so that we
Yeah,
don't have to
man.
depend on somebody out there to give us seeds to continue our production. Because we know
See
what
this
is
goal,
going
eh?
on right now in terms of
Yes.
the
Control.
genetically modification of the seeds, to the point where you have to go back to them to buy the seeds. And if that is happening, then that takes away the nature from farmer to be able to grow and recycle his crop. Because if you have to go back to them for seed, then that's an additional cost for you all the time. And then if they choose to not sell you seed, then you can't eat. That is madness. And so we have to really begin to think along these lines seriously as farmers and as people who are in the ministry and so on. And if they are not doing it, that's why I'm saying, Owens, we will have to come together and do these things, because this is really critical.
Yeah, son.
Banky will tell you, right, that I am past the point of worrying about what people now do when it comes to
Right.
agriculture, and worrying about, because if it's there to be done and it's in within my capability of shining light on what is being done, then that is my path right now. And I tell Banky, 2024 was, yeah, we talking, we creating awareness. Now I realize now that everybody's watching. It's now for me now to go out and seek the people who are doing it, because like I said, it's not just me and you and Banky. Yeah? There's a collective out
Yeah,
there
man.
that
It's collective effort.
silently
Yeah,
there's
man.
there's a collective out there. There's some farmers out there silently doing it for years. There's some backyard
Yeah, son.
farmers.
We want the food import bill go down, because if we go out food and cut out the food import bill, it mean the money stay. It mean the farmers them gonna get more money in their pocket. You see what I mean? That the money gonna circulate in the community. You spend about $200 million getting out every year. So if I can say I've entertained serious and one trying and whatever, I mean I waste my energy on things that I take the same energy to be positive. So I don't have time to waste on negativity. So when I come to this show, I will speak. I mean, because you see right now they're fighting to get Indian Castle back together because they're supposed to have a function down there. Well, that is good. But after the function, or after when they don't get back together, how you gonna maintain it? Because you have to always maintain something in the Virgin. Because the environment gonna ruin. So if you don't have the passion and the love for something, and you don't get 40 acres of food, it's your choice. The public wanting to destroy 40 acres of food. I mean, attached to that long there, you know. It's sad because I know what the outcome gonna be. You see what I mean? Because it's food, Virgin, that have been putting money into the consolidated fund and activities being kept down over the years. Tourism even used down there to start for the Mango Festival over the years also and continue. So it shows that the communities want it and they needed it. The community used to ask to pay to enter in there, you know. It's them company paying part of the community in a Virgin. That's what they love the place, you know. So if when the so I don't tell the public when they see me, please don't ask nothing about Indian Castle. Go and seek the premier and his deputy and the manager. Don't ask me nothing about Indian Castle. I done my part. My focus is with as own say with those who serious about agriculture in the backyard garden, in the small space, them in the commercial area and those the agro processors. Once people are serious, but those who are not serious, I'm not gonna waste energy on people who are not serious, Bridget. Especially when it comes to food and it goes
Yeah,
back
and
to
that
our leaders, them impacting, and it goes to your son, to our leaders, them who want to represent us. I don't care if you're the Minister of Communication and Roads, if you're in charge, you understand our library. You must be able to speak on agriculture, Virgin. If you cannot speak on agriculture, you cannot lead me. I don't want to hear nothing from you because you're not serious, because how much them are there to eat. You see how big most of them be, the belly in front of them. So how you not speak on food, Virgin, and the sources of food, and you not have something at the hospital when it come to a garden or something like that. And the schools and them that have out all these spend out all these big bills when it come to the school kitchen and stuff like that. As you speak, yes, and you was
this
talking about you have to put
Banky,
agriculture in the
there's a
yeah.
side
Go ahead.
there's a side of things that sometimes we as a people tend to overlook sometimes because we get
Yes.
so caught up in the distractions and the petty parties and politics and so on that we overlook this aspect sometimes when we are having this discussion in regards to food security and food sovereignty. Now, for some,
Yes.
because of their economic status, um, food security is not so much of an issue for them because
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, even though we're talking about the food import bill, they know that
Yes.
they could afford to go to the supermarket and buy whatever it is that they need. And so
Mm-hmm.
food security is not a crisis for them because at this point, every 2 weeks or every whatever week, the container boat is coming in and filling up the supermarket. And there's
Okay.
not much of a shortage. So that is not much of an issue
Yes.
for them. Then the flip side of that as well is because of the fact that some of these same people who own these major entities inject money into their campaign funding, there is that need to seek to ensure that these people's business continues. So as much as on one side of their mouth, they talk about food security and food sovereignty and all that. That's why sometimes there's not that push to really upset that apple cart. Because at the end of the day, if you empower the farmers and the farmers get into that position where they could sustain themselves and some become entrepreneurs and some could have the Prado and the house on the hills like them, the farmers, even though they get that sort of assistance, they're not going to take $100,000 and put in the campaign fund. They're not going to take $500,000 and campaign and put in a campaign fund for maybe even both sides, with hopes that whoever win, they still get to continue this kind of issue. So that side of the argument sometimes is not looked at and is not highlighted. And sometimes I am curious in my thinking if some of these things are not intentionally done because of some of these things that we overlook, in the sense that, you know, um, we know that some of these big companies, whether it's the TDC, the hospitals, and so on, they invest in some of these parties And sometimes they play the game of investing in both sides, right? With the hope that, well, by I look after you, so when you win, you got to look after me. And so they do these things to make sure that these people eat a food, as we would say locally. So I don't know if how you guys look at, that twist as to why sometimes the interest that should be put into agriculture is not necessarily put into agriculture because of some of these, sorry, the point that I brought out.
Owns?
You're unmute, Owns. You're
You might.
unmute.
Mute.
We ain't hearing you. So yeah, but Banky, yeah,
Yeah,
you
yes,
could.
one.
You're
Your back owns.
no audio, no audio.
No audio. Yes, one. In the meanwhile, let me big up my cousin them at the shop, Amonis, and her sister come over on the weekend, Aisha. I mean, for running the shop and selling the produce. Amonis Monday to Saturday, and Aisha come on Saturdays and help Amonis in the kitchen where they cook the soul food, the fish and cow meal, and the baked chicken and the turkey, and you know what I mean, real whole homemade cooking and stuff like that. And also Amonis being creative in the kitchen, making with harvesting pumpkins. So she making pumpkin bread. She make a nice pumpkin bread, and then she make us the sour drink, watermelon juice. Best watermelon juice in St. Kitts Navy. Somebody could tap that. Yeah, wicked. Star food. Also, when you come on the farm, you get a plastic bag and you get a whole plastic bag for only $10 or $5. It does you full it, drum it up till you bust. I rather not gonna fall off the tree, put them in the compost. So it's best to get stuff off, you know what I mean? Where people can get stuff very cheap and stuff like that. So it's a fun day. You come out, you get if you pick your own common bowl, rather people do pick them themselves, and then they just go in the shop and pay and stuff like that. But yeah, so we have a lot of people coming over from St. Kitts. A lot of people call me to come over to support it, farmers and the family, and probably people folks from the ministry and the department also will be coming over. So I expect, you know what I mean, a good turnout from the general public from both St. Kitts and Nevis and stuff like that. So it's the right thing the community will be doing because man, I've served the community for a very long time. You understand? A lot of conversation, a lot of smile, a lot of hugs and stuff like that throughout the community with people. Cause when they come in the farm, they say, "Oh, I know, man, and man." A lot of stories from everyone who come there. A lot of stories, so they're happy, especially the community over in that area where you have that expat community who what his customers. So they're glad to see it's up and running, so they continue to come and support. And the energy is back. They see the farm, and so they're loving it, and that is what you wanted. And I'm just doing the right thing. You understand? Because
Well,
this
Banky,
is what
that's
you
something that
wanted.
you may have to. That's something you may have to work on in terms of documenting some of those stories. So between you and Owens and your daughter and whoever
Yes, son.
else,
Hold on. I got a call coming in. Yes, son. I have a call coming in.
you take that. Take the call, yeah.
Hello. Good evening. Hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. Good evening. Welcome to the. Yes, go ahead.
Hi, how are you doing? Good evening, dear. How are you doing?
Yeah, we're good. We're hearing you loud and clear.
All right, dear. I was trying to call earlier on.
Yes, sorry about that.
I've been joining you guys for quite a while. Is this still on there?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, first, let me wish you guys a happy New Year. It's a new year, and I think you guys have started it off in the right way. I've been sitting back and listening to your program, and it seems like you're trying to bring back everyone into the farm. Yeah, which is very good.
Yes.
It is very, very good. And like I said, it's something that I'm used to. As a matter of fact, my backyard here is full of African vegetables. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when I returned from Africa many years ago, I think that was in 1980. Yeah? I brought along a piece of and it's called the African bitter leaf.
Mm-hmm.
And this leaf, herbs you should call it, I think navies will do well with it because of the diabetic patients we have there. And what it does, you can Google it, African bitter leaf. It has a lot of benefits to it.
Okay.
It's not common here in the West Indies, in the Caribbean, but I brought along peace with me when I was coming back home. And everywhere I go, I will take it and I plant the peace wherever I am.
Yes.
Right now in St. Martin, I have a garden full of it here.
Okay.
You know, diabetic, a lot of people have the sugar, what's that, and this plant, bitter leaf, African bitter leaf, it does a good job in taking care of the sugar in the blood. A lot of us do not know about it. And what the African does is to extract the juice from this leaf. They use it to neutralize the sugar level in the blood.
Okay.
If anyone is affected and is already affected with the sugar level, they take it maybe 2 to 3 days.
Similar to the mango leaf.
Chinese, bitter leaf.
Yes, yes. But yeah. But the mango leaf does this. The mango leaf does the same thing too. Mm-hmm. I got you.
What the mango leaf does, if you're an alcoholic, you're a drinker, you drinks a lot, mango leaf takes care of that problem. But you didn't know that.
No, didn't know that. We take what you mean to get over the hangover, the hangover.
Right. The young mango leaf
Mm-hmm.
takes care of it.
What the hangover you mean?
You have a lot of trees,
Yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
Bring him closer to the phone, Banky. We ain't hearing him. Bring him closer to the mic.
Heart problem, beating too fast or whatever it is. The plantain leaf takes care of that problem. Now I tell you how you do it. Never take the plantain leaf that leaves the tree. You take the dry one that hangs down from the tree. It should never touch the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get this, you wash it with salt water. Preferably if you have seawater, you can wash it or have it in the seawater, wash it, and then you rinse it off with fresh water. When that is done, you can have it dry. And then you soak it in a pitcher of water or bucket, and you leave it there for at least 3 days, soaked. And then you can drink it. It cleanses your kidney, your liver, your internal organs is properly cleansed. The soaked dry plantain leaves.
Beautiful.
Now, recently I've been sharing this with people.
Carlo, I want to cut you short, but we have to wrap up this show in a little bit. So I'll give you a next minute.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm saying this because I've spent most of my time sharing these remedies to the people in the Caribbean Probably need some more time to share these.
Well, we can have you as a guest. We can have you as a guest on the show. Okay.
But again,
yes.
Let me finish with the plantain leaf. Very important. You can make a tea with it, but I prefer it soap and drink.
Mm-hmm.
If you have problem with the blood, it takes care of it. I haven't seen a doctor in 10 years. In 10 years. Because I have not a reason to go there. If you have a mild stroke, this will take care of it. Like he says, we need more time for this.
Yeah. I'll communicate with you, and we set up an interview where you can be a guest and the Everything Agriculture show for sometime next month in February, if you don't mind.
Yeah, you just give me a quick buzz. But again, I'm saying this because our people are dying too young, too fast.
Yeah, they gotta change how they eat, and then they wouldn't have an issue with these things.
That's right. We have to change what we eat. We have to change what we eat. And remember, you have the cure. We have the cure right under our feet, their neighbors. Yes. You have a plant that they call the what do you call it? It's a thing the pigs eat. Parsley. You remember the parsley?
Of course. Yeah, well, that's the kind of wild callaloo.
Parsley.
That one, I will give you a history on that one.
But we gotta wrap up the show, Carl. I gotta wrap up the show, so we're gonna leave these things until.
Yes, okay, good. Nice talking to you guys there. We're gonna have just go to say Happy New Year to you guys.
I appreciate it. Appreciate the call.
Hopefully.
Been a while.
Yes. And Jansen, nice seeing you. Yeah, nice to see you going to beards again. Nice seeing you. Wonderful evening, beautiful show. I was listening all night, and you guys are doing a wonderful job. Happy New Year. And may God grant you grace, peace, and give you the much courage to continue this program.
Give thanks. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Blessing.
Yes. Yeah, man. Yes, and that was a regular caller who custom to call when we on the other radio station and stuff like that. So we're gonna wrap up this show now. So Owens, your guest. I mean, anything you want to talk about before we go?
I appreciate the man having me. I listen in the background and make my contribution in the background. I just want to encourage the folks them to come out. Mansa Fest Sunday, I'll be there. Tomorrow, of course, is the workshop. So, you just come and learn something. The workshops tomorrow will be a nice event for me. And, working on something, and hopefully in the next month or so, I too will be able to do a workshop and really part my knowledge to folks who actually working with a small space.
February, that is last Saturday, February. Let us set it now while the people are listening. Also, we doing small space and backyard gardening. Yeah, last Saturday, February.
Yeah, so that now I'll demonstrate how we could use and what you could use and maximize a space and be able to like I said, put food on your table and be able to eat something and be able to feed your family. And I think that's one of the main things about a backyard farm is that you can have your food and your medicine in a small space. Like, we always say, and you always say it, and I emphasize it. Sometimes, most times you plant, I really care where you plant in, It's just as long as you get the nutrients and everything that it needs. So, there's some things that I've done over the years to really, benefit me. And, I'll be happy to part that with, the folks them who come out and, be a part of that workshop. So last week in February, I'll be here, I'll be at Mansa's, and I'll be parting some of the knowledge. And still, I'll be pledging that I'll be working in the background. The Navy's moments continue. I alluded to the fact that they're going to be expanding more. So I'm going to be touching base with a lot of the farmers, a lot of the foundation farmers, but also I want to highlight a lot of the young backyard farmers coming up. A lot of them just reach out to me for, advice as to what they're doing. A couple of them have little shade house and greenhouse, and some man do the pumpkin and the okra. And big up to the people who really taking the inspiration and taking the time to plant something, even if it's one thing out of your yard that you're eating,
That's one thing that you don't have to worry about. You know,
Good.
Yason allude about the fact that we have to secure receipts too.
Was the cut off your son? You go down?
Yeah, me good. So just want to say thanks, and folks will see me in the background and they'll see what we continue doing, and we're gonna push this thing. And like I said, it's a collective. It's everybody who's serious about this thing. What we call
Definitely.
agriculture. Me welcome and me willing to promote what you're doing, and using my platform and the little skills that we have to really push agriculture forward and inspire the next. My thing is to inspire the next person to do this
I see you might
thing.
have to go on the street and do it different. You don't have the show with people talk asking them boss asking a question, guy. It is a joke and joke funny question. You
And
just hit the street and talk agriculture and get people views and this what I mean. That kind of vibes is the kind of thing that's how you know what I mean is needed.
them, so I got the tools them now to do the job. Like I said, so
Yes.
2025 we're gonna see it, and we're gonna see. So like I said, me not really like to talk, me like to do.
Yeah
So when
man.
we done, the folks then gonna see what going on. Yeah, son, blessings, King. Um, Strength and manners every time, King.
Yeah,
Yeah
well,
man.
another thing I want you to really zoom in on, this what you're doing with the video. Seeing that right now we're the only agriculture program out there. We need to create something visually for agriculture, from the video side of it. So probably that's something that we could work on, and then
Too
set it up
easy.
in a way that it could be monetized, that we all can benefit. I mean, from pushing that and have that. That's a way that people also can contribute also to what we are doing, help us to take it a little bit further as well. So as you do this kind of thing, and when you go to the event on Sunday, whatever you could record in terms of the stories that people come to share and so on that we use as content. So we could, just save content until we're ready to push. But the thought, I'm just feeling it as we are talking, and I mean, I just turn it out so that we can do these things. I want to give thanks to everybody who would have been a part of this discussion, who would have logged in. We would have had some new people. I want to give thanks to all those who contributed on the Facebook wall. People like Carlisle Paris, Juma, Gigi Speed, and the others who would have made their contributions. Um, I know it's not easy for folks to want to go out on a Friday night, have their dinners or engagements and whatever else. So to stick and stay with us and to come and be a part of this discussion on a Friday evening, we really appreciate your time and your efforts. For those of you who made that extra mile, take the extra mile of sharing it, we definitely give thanks for that. As I wrap up, Banky,
Mm-hmm.
I want to send some condolences out to the family of Mr. Bristol over there and St. Kitts. I think he was laid to rest today. And that's the man for Brimstone Flavors, a very personal brother of mine. Um, we would have worked together for a number of years. We spoke he had a number of projects that he had in mind, especially the agriculture and so even up to earlier on um, last year, we would have been in discussions with certain things we wanted to do and so on. And, very powerful, humble, powerful soul that was very passionate about agriculture and pushing agriculture, among other things that he was a part of in terms of recycling, waste management, that forestry work and so on. Sometimes, like I said, I don't like to really have to talk, like it's a eulogy, but he was somebody I've always promoted when he was around, and you know, these are some of the sad cases sometimes when you have people and the contributions that they make and are making sometimes are taken for granted. I want to send condolences out to his sons and his family and so on at this time. For Mr. Admiral is in the praises, number one in the number two business. The family, rest in peace. Another powerful agricultural soldier has left us, and yeah,
Can
give
hear your
thanks.
son. Yeah. You're
I'm
breaking up.
sorry, I was saying I just wanted to send some condolences out to the family. I
Yes.
just want to say good night to my mom, sisters, and the rest of the family and everybody over there in Fountain Village, Carbo, and everybody over there. Militant, Devon, Army Brethren, and everybody over on that side in Fountain. Enough respect, choices, everybody on them ends, Tech Nine, the whole Fountain, Mount Lily, Westbury, camps, massive, Newcastle, the whole Barnaby, Liberdale, the whole St. James's, put it that way.
But you're
Enough love,
international,
everybody.
you know, because you're the SK. You're international, you're the SK, and you still the Ala Story Grove. So you're international, you're
You
the
understand?
colored 40. I
Story go,
understand you, you
yeah,
know.
well, and then teaching, put me in the position as well too, because I taught at
That's the
St.
whole
James, I
point.
taught at St. Thomas's, taught at
Big
CSS,
up everybody,
and
the whole
St.
island.
Kitts. I would have taught and St. Kitts in some of the schools when I went teaching practice. So I mean,
Yes,
it's just a love, and it's a love for country. Same way, ounce. You know what I
yes,
mean? That's why
yeah,
what we do. I mean, as you can see, I'm out here in California, and see right behind me the flag is still here. So you understand the
yeah,
kind of
man.
patriotism when it comes
Yes,
to what I do. And so agriculture, everything agriculture, um, you know, we here. Real Entertainment Network, enough respect for the
yeah,
platform.
man.
Give thanks to everybody. Banky, I know you got a lot to do for setting up yourself and getting ready for the event. So
Yeah, right
we
now,
link.
Sarah will make a shell, you know. Yeah, Sarah will make a shell right now and still pick tomorrow and then harvest mango again, dig out sweet potato tomorrow after the workshop. So he's just and still do some work on the farm. But just want to say give thanks for all those who stick with us every Friday night. Could be doing a lot more other stuff. Listen, just chilling, going out on the street, whatever it is. Really appreciate we don't take you guys for granted. I know some just listen and don't partake, but at least you're listening, which means you have that interest. So we appreciate that. And those who meet me, let me know they listen to the show and they appreciate what we're doing and don't stop because they've been encouraged. And that alone is what motivate me. I mean, just we're not getting paid to do these things. You understand? We just come here volunteer just to share this information because it's the right thing for us to do, and we encourage other people to do the same thing. We encourage other people to have a radio show and agriculture in St. Kitts, in Montserrat, in wherever you're at, Antigua. These are the regular person because his farmers should be doing these things. Those who tilling the soil issue have and who have the knowledge, pass it on is the right thing to do. I mean, people contact me from Antigua, different places of the world, and part send me the information and whatever, and the pictures of the disease and diagnose it and encourage them the best way of going about doing things. You see what I mean? Because what we want to do, we really want to stop all this junk of plowing, all this junk of pesticide use, dangerous pesticide, gramoxone, glyphosate. These are highly toxic pesticides that are sold in St. Kitts and Nevis every day on a daily basis,
All
and the
right,
more the
Banky,
farmers them.
you know, as you get back to that, I wanted to touch base on that point earlier on in the show, but let me just get half a minute on it in terms of the
Yes,
significance and the importance of that part, PPE that you are going to be doing the training on. And I really want to take this
yes,
time to encourage farmers. If you did not sign up or if you didn't hear about this and you're hearing about it now, make it your business
check
to
on
go
this
out and do
show.
it because it is very, very, very serious. In terms
Yes,
of the fact that you talk about the dangers of these pesticides and the fact that
yes,
at present our farmers are making use of them without any protective wear and the dangers
yes,
that it poses not only to them but even also to their family when they go home and not change their clothes and so on
of
because
course. And the
goes on to
community
the
and at,
clothes
at,
and
at home.
right? And so it is very, very important that a session like that is done. And you know, I did a workshop on that at some point, right? And one of the things that stuck out with me was the respirators. And that was one
Mm-hmm.
of the things that stayed me when it came to the COVID. Because when I noted respirators and the fact that there are different types of respirators that can protect you from
Yes.
various different types of chemicals based on the color
Mm-hmm.
codes and so on, right?
Yes.
So one just say, oh, I have on a respirator, but based on the different color codes, that respirator might not necessarily
Mm-hmm.
protect you from certain,
Of course.
So
Yes.
when they said that you could have just put on a mask and just this little thing, I was like,
Of
no,
course.
it
No,
can't
that
be
never
so.
work.
But I know,
At
I
after
know
at
based on
yes.
how that it doesn't
Yes.
work like that. So
Yes.
this knowledge and is really, really critical. And I see Owens there in the corner just listening. I'm sure Owens must be saying, like, I didn't even recognize that respirators, have that different kind of, yeah, but these are some of the things that a lot of people
Come
take for
on.
granted and don't understand that this is critical, and the knowledge that we have as farmers, and the need to be able to put it out so that a lot more of our farmers could be more secured and our food can be more secured. So highlighting the type of pesticides and so on that they're using, the fact that they need to change it from a government standpoint, because they're the ones who are selling it the most, and the fact
Mm-hmm.
that the farmers need to begin to protect themselves when they are spraying these dangerous chemicals.
Yes.
So give thanks for that, and
And
um,
the workshop will be held by the presenter will be Quincy Bart. I mean, he's the department top, you understand, entomologist specialist and stuff like that, and head the accounting department. And he's one of those person who is very by the book, very strict, very serious about when it comes to invasive species. So we'll have some of those invasive species like the black African snail and snakes and all these different stuff that have come into the country and eventually being a pest, and then have a full mannequin of the PPE, how it should be set up and stuff like that, cars and posters and cars. Is one thing all about Mr. Quincy. I mean, he's. I mean, we both the same. Have the same type of, when it comes to presentation. We love to make things presentable and so you could act, and then we'll have the practical part. We go to in the field and check for some pests and different and stuff like that in the field, identify, and then you have a quiz and test the knowledge and all this different stuff. So it's real hands-on training you're getting when it comes to Shabba's Organic at the each and every month. We're doing it in the professional way, just how I've been taught and do many workshops for the department. The same type of workshop we're getting. So not because the department not having this workshop and I'm having them, whatever information will be impart and will make you a better farmer. I'm for one just use a weed whacker to maintain the farm and no pesticides and all and stuff like that. When it can if I want to use anything when it comes to pesticides, it gotta be something from the neem or plant based. I'm not gonna use no seven, nothing in the yellow to kill the bees. Not and I don't have to spray. You understand? If you can't grow crop without spraying. It's all about monitoring. Monitor. And if you monitor, then and then you have your compost. Each farm, each home must have a compost. We can nothing but compost. You make your compost tea and you run all these things to the line. And these things would help, you understand, with nutrients, control your pests and nematodes and all this stuff. And plus you're building up your soil. You're building up your organic content, which is very important. So it's doing things in a holistic way. Make sure the people can continue to get safe and healthy food to eat at a very cheap price. And that is what Mansur's Last Stop and Shabba's Organics is all about. And looking forward to seeing the general public to come out tomorrow for the workshop. It starts 8 o'clock. Try to be on time. And then Sunday, the event starts at 12 o'clock. Lots of mangoes, lots of sorrel, lots of pumpkin, lots of sugar cane. You see what I mean? And lots of, we're going to have the barbecue grill will be out, the bouncing castle, music, and different vendors and stuff like that. So jelly water and all and different stuff, nice cold. Just come out and pay homage to Mansa and all they've been doing in the community. He have touched a lot of lives and also, you know what I mean, set the trend and which will continue and stuff like that, providing safe and healthy food. So just one again, just want to bring up Amanis and Tasha. Uh, Tasha is overseas, but she still contribute her part and stuff like that. So I want to big up Amanis, Tasha, and also Aisha. You got to big up them three sisters there. You understand? Working together and make sure that the father legacy continues. So you really got to tip your hat after them. You understand? For showing up and communicating every day on a level. And I mean, it's the one who in the shop, but I should come out and help. And Tasha send whatever is needed and stuff like that. So they're working well together. And I come in as a fifth wheel now, just mending the mesh, and we do think make everything perfect as a puzzle, and work as a team, and that's what it's all about. Make sure my uncle legacy, you understand, continues and stuff like that. So, yes, son, give thanks for the energy, ounce, enough respect every time, Virgin. You don't know, see you tomorrow. Yeah. And also want to big up my daughter Jamila for making all these, controlling my social media page. I mean, check out Showers Next, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Big up Real Entertainment Network. I will big up yourself, Reese. You know what I mean? Also Alan and Chev, the whole team. You know what I'm saying? Young people doing a good thing. Also big up the young farmer Akisha and Kado. You know what I mean? Chris, big up yourself. You don't know. You understand? Coming from a long way and doing good things. And Najee. And all those, you know what I mean? Rwanda, you have a lot of female farmers doing the thing in the backyard. Rwanda at Bank of Navies. You know what I mean? See us with the farming the same way. You know what I mean? Man like culture. And all those who
Nice.
doing the little thing here and there, you know what I mean? You're doing the right thing. 'Cause money can't eat, you know. So don't be fooled. Never stop planting your food. 'Cause right now, I don't do nothing else but farming and plant
Julio
food.
and
'Cause
Danny, Julio and them with the goats, them and so them young fellows who got them
yeah,
animals
man,
and so yeah
everybody
man.
know. Big up everybody. You don't know. So until next week, you know what I mean? Tuesday or something, we come back with should have Ross IRI and the topics where we link up. So and Alan, we were talking about cannabis and what's going on in the cannabis industry and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And definitely stay tuned because we have agriculture day coming up in March and 27 and 28, just promoting that. But I will be taking part in that. I'll be having my own thing. Mansa. Fear of, I know the name yet, but you're gonna name up a Mansa again. 'Cause a lot of Mansa things we're gonna do. You understand?
Right?
Yeah, so April 13th, date done set. 'Cause we'll have melons and stuff coming in. So make sure plant a big batch of melon for that. And so the public can get melon at a discounted price at that fair, and invite some vendors also to take part in that cause and make it you know what I mean, a nice events also. So we're gonna have different activities through you have one in Culturama time, then October World Full Day, and then we just continue doing everything else on. Is the right thing to do, 'cause farming can bring the community together. You see what I mean? It's a
Right.
positive environment to be in and that kind of vibe. So just spread the word and let everybody know. The poster is out, so people can be sharing the poster and people can contact me, let them know they're going to show up. So expect a big crowd on Sunday. Definitely expect that. So and appreciate those in advance for those who plan to come out. Just showing give my gratitude in advance. And once we come out Sunday, we can link up and have good reasoning and good vibes and the farm. All right, so guys, appreciate it. Ira, already your son.
I'm not sure. Maybe you might have to log out, you know. You remember what to do?
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, son.
When the mic's along your son.
Okay, well we see a new person coming in here, Stevie Farming. Good night greetings to well, I guess he meant to all farmers. Carlisle Parish was saying big up Banky, much success on Sunday. We had Merlin Saunders, Merlin Thompson. So we had some new people. I shouldn't say new, but some faces that probably would have been on 2020 Vision, but are here with us. So we want to welcome all those who would have popped in. This was
Mm-hmm.
another edition of Everything Agriculture. We are wrapping up. We do this every Friday, usually from 7 o'clock until 9:30, thereabouts. Tonight the topic was Mansa Fest, which should be on Sunday, coming up at Mansa's last stop over here in Cades Bay, Nevis, and we had Ounce, the guy, the veteran who is responsible for a Nevis moment. So that clip that you usually see on social media, a Nevis moment highlighting whether it's something on farming, something hiking, some nice little interesting thing about Nevis. So we had him on as a guest with us. He is
All
also a
right.
backyard farmer. And so we are now, just about to wrap up for this evening. So for next
Yeah.
week, Tuesday, we are going to be linking up with the topics with Alan on the same platform, Real Entertainment Network. That would be an exclusive interview with Ras Iwai Pini, who is a member of the ORU, Organization of Rastafari Unity, and the One Love Rastafari movement here in Nevis. Main topic usually on that night is cannabis, along with other things. So we would be zooming into cannabis, and he would have had a one-man protest recently in regards to the here allowing boys to go the here going to school and Nevis.
Ready when you're ready,
That
your son.
so yes, stirred up some issues, and so that is going to be one of the topics on Tuesday. So be sure to log in with us on Tuesday, and then we will be back on Friday with another edition of Everything Agriculture. Until then, people, we are out. Enough love, Stevie Farming. Yes, love. This is needed. She says, he or she says. So we will get a new listener, Banky, and the new listener thinks that this is needed. So people,
Yeah,
we will
man. Greatly
be back
appreciated.
on
Give thanks.
Tuesday and Friday. Until then, enough love, guidance, one love. people. You gotta let me know if you guys are here with me. If so, I would. We still live. Still live. Seemingly we are. We do apologize for this, but the thing is, yes, Banky is the technical guy on the side that is supposed to log us out, but it's kind of um a new system, and we were just given a rough um tutorial just a couple of days ago, actually. And so I'm not sure if some of the steps were missed. And so I think maybe Banky would have thought that he would have closed down the show, but we have not closed the show down yet. So what I would do, I guess, based on the fact that I'm aware that we are live, still have a few people here, I guess I would continue to communicate until um, one of the persons from the technical team would step in and close out. I did try to reach out to someone else, but I'll see how that works out. But in the meantime, I'm still here. So some of you who are asking when is the next show, so what's gonna happen is next week Tuesday. So usually we do this show every Friday. So we're on every Friday from 7 until 9. Um, Sometimes maybe we start at 7:30 depending on the activities that Banky may have on the farm and his availability. But thereabout. Um, and then on the last Tuesday of every month, so the last Tuesday of every month, we usually team up with The Topic, which is another show that is on this platform, which is usually hosted by Alan Powell. On that show, it is usually geared towards a discussion that surrounds cannabis and issues surrounding cannabis, along with the other topics that Alan may have to put on the table. So that is another interesting show that is aired on this platform. But we team up with the topic on the last Tuesday of every month. That's going to happen this Tuesday coming. This Tuesday coming, we should have as guest Ira Kinney, who will talk about the cannabis industry and the cannabis commission and what he can and cannot say, and what has been happening and what he can update us on. Also, we will talk about his one-man protest in recent days in regards to here allowing boys to have long hair in school, an issue that I totally agree with. For me, we just need to start to get rid of a lot of these colonial relics. Hair does not prevent anyone from learning. And for me, as long as your hair is groomed and kept clean and well kempt, I don't see any issues with whether you're male or female and you have long hair or short hair. So we need to move beyond these things, and so that's the discussion that we would have on the platform as well. And that's on Tuesday, along with, like I said, cannabis and any other issue that Alan would bring to the platform. And then we'll be back Friday with our regular edition of Everything Agriculture. So you will see us twice, so to speak, this week on this platform. Sorry, next week on this platform. Tuesday, we'll be in with Alan. and then on Friday we'll be back with our regular programming. I have to figure out now if um, I have assistance on the way yet in terms of closing out. Let me do a little check here and see if I got any response from anyone, or if we are going to have to be um, talking here for a bit. I don't mind, um, you know, communicating with you guys for a bit as we continue. It'll be nice to, if you want to add your comments or questions as we are here and we still have a bit of time to do such. But the main topic for this evening was Mansa Fest, as it's going to be the first Mansa Fest celebration there at Mansa's last stop there on Case Benevis. That's coming up Sunday. So Sunday, I think it's from 12 until 9 p.m. I'm not certain of the time. But it's a day, a fun day activity. Come out with the family. They'll have dominoes. They will have bouncing castle for the children. They're gonna have farm tours. They're gonna have, juice testing. They're gonna have mangoes. They're gonna have sorrel. They're gonna have sugar cane. They're gonna have pumpkins. They're gonna have a lot of different, things. They spoke about barbecue and a number of other things and activities. That's gonna be happening over there at Manster's last stop. So if you're looking for something to do Sunday coming, if you didn't hear about it, well, you're hearing about it now. Manster's last stop at Cades Bay. That's the place to be. Bring out the family, family fun time, something there for everybody, learning activity. Tomorrow, before Sunday, tomorrow there's going to be a workshop here in relation to pest control, PPE, protective um, wear for people who are using pesticides. This is a very, very vital workshop because I think and I know that a lot of our farmers take this for granted in regards to not wearing proper protective wear when they are spraying some of these very dangerous chemicals and the effects that it could have on their families when they go home and wear these clothes in the environment where their family is and so on. And don't change even sometimes the clothes that they wear on the farm, the vehicle they drive in the same vehicle. Maybe their family member may have to be using the same vehicle. A lot of these things sometimes are not really taken into consideration. Also, consideration in terms of using the chemicals where you store the chemicals, where in the home you store those chemicals and so on. So a lot of things that you would need to learn about um, such activities. That's going to be coming up tomorrow with Quincy Bad. Quincy Bad will be facilitating that aspect of the workshop along with Banky and Ounce, also our guest who was here with us, is also going to be there in terms of doing some video documenting a lot of these events and activities, which is really, really a serious contribution. And, when we have people who are willing to volunteer and put themselves out there to do things like these, we definitely have to give them the credit because, you know, Banky and myself, we host the show. It's all voluntary. We're not paid. You know, we're not paid to do this, and we have been doing this for about going on to 4 years now. We were on 2020 Vision for about 3 years, and then we're now here on the platform. Um, you know, Owens has been doing this Nevis moment for some time, and it's just all in his heart. And since Banky has relocated to Mansa's last stop, has just stepped up and has been there doing a lot of different, videos and taking pictures and putting the pictures out there in social media land. Um, let's see what's going on here. That's funky here. Let me put y'all on pause here for a second, people. go back to Facebook and see what's good. No, very twisted. Yeah, it looks so. Yeah, so people, we're trying to get that technical difficulty worked out. But as I was saying, um, yeah, we're gonna be back here next week, Friday. We're gonna be here on Tuesday first with Alan and the topic, and then Friday we'll be back here. We're getting prepared for Manifest. We want you to come on out and show some support and give some credence and credit to the work that's being done by Banky and Ounce. Um, as I was saying, I think that's where I was in terms of the contribution that he's making in terms of taking the videos and making sure that it's documented, putting it out there. Um, we speak about earlier on, spoke about the movements to now document other farmers and some of the people who have been making contributions, even some of the younger people who are now involved in agriculture, and seeking to give them some needed promotion and presentation, because that's this is how more younger people would see. We need to be able to start to make it fashionable, make it sexy. I love what what's her name, Kashka is doing in terms of going out, and she's more foodie, but at the same time food ties into agriculture. So I've seen her do a presentation with Aishan, the Ital cooking. I've seen her recently with Ras IY, doing the Ital. She have done various different other local restaurants and so on, and the island and so on. But I spoke to those because of the fact that it ties into agriculture so much, because in most cases, um, Ital is just veggies, and so herbs. So it speaks to that aspect and shows how these things tie into agriculture. We are also going to be having ITAL at Mansa's last stop at the event. So Sunday, be sure to come out to Mansa Fest. You definitely don't want to miss that. Bring out the family, bring out the children. There'll be something for everybody. And everybody who would have known about Mansa and the contribution that he made, Mansa, I'm sure, would have touched the lives of almost everybody on the island of Nevis and further afield, St. Kitts and many other places that he was a fisherman. And so, that legacy is being maintained. We want to really encourage everybody on the island and in the federation. And it's very close to the docking for the taxi, the water taxi. So you can easily get one of the taxis and come on over and get in. Yes, okay, I'll just reason with the people until he's ready. I, okay, yeah. Yeah, so like I said, people, sorry about that. It's all, this is what teamwork is all about. Like I said, we're having a little bit of.
Hey, this man Easy, inviting you to tune in. It's all about everything agriculture with the man Banky and Company alongside Yason Tafari. It's your weekly educational show. And tune in. It's inspirational, educational, and you won't want to miss it. It's Everything Agriculture.